Be a part of history and catch the action. Professional hockey is back in the boot. Get your tickets today and be a part of the excitement. The Baton Rouge Zydeco's inaugural season, where the Bayou meets the ice. Don't miss out. Get your tickets now. Let's go, Zydeco!
If you're looking for some time away, but you don't want to go too far, the Cook Hotel at LSU is just what you've been searching for. Book your getaway today and enjoy a beautiful escape in any of their luxurious guest rooms or suites overlooking the gorgeous LSU lakes. Whether you're here to shop or stay, the Cook Hotel at LSU is where you can find it all. Stay for the weekend, come by, grab lunch, or shop at their alumni gift shop. Visit thecookhotel.com to book your stay today. That's thecookhotel.com.
Fall's in the air, and that means pretty weather. Do you want a sunroof to catch some rays and some of that beautiful weather? Tops Unlimited has got you covered. Do your seats in your ride need a little love? Leather or vinyl, Tops Unlimited will have your butt feeling brand new. Visit us at topsunlimited.com. Again, that's topsunlimited.com. Or call us at 225-291-9194. When you want it done right, our business is Tops.
Insurance companies have teams of professionals to fight your claim. If you want to know what your case is really worth, I'm Spencer Callahan. I'd like to help.
Spencer Callahan is the one to see. Call 387-2323.
LA filing number 16-7970.
WNXX, Jackson, KNXX, Donaldsonville, and WDGL HD2 Baton Rouge. This hour brought to you by Spencer Callahan Injury Lawyers, LA 21-12681. Offices in Baton Rouge.
Good morning, everybody. It is 7 a.m. on Tuesday, October 17th. Today in Baton Rouge, expect clear skies with a high of 76. Coming up on OTB, we have a new edition of OTB Mailbag in the second hour, and we talk Saints with Nick Underhill at 9 a.m. You can follow us on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok at OTB_ESPN, or catch us on YouTube at the 1045 ESPN channel. Hour number one of Off the Bench, live from the Mercedes-Benz Baton Rouge studio, starts now.
Let we go!
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Jacob Hester and T-Bob Hebert.
Yeah!
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Hey, P, they said I gotta come off the bench.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. Yo, yo, yo.
Yo, what's happening, y'all? Welcome back. OTB. Another day, October 17, 2020. Actually a cold day today, like a legitimately cold day, not like a Louisiana cold. Even though, actually, no, I guess it still is. Because if you were to talk to, other people, high 40s would not be considered that cold. That is fair. And then I think, by the time we get into work, it's probably in the 50s. But I was very pleased to see 46 degrees when my alarm went off this morning. Just really setting the fall mood. I'm looking up Jake, and all of a sudden LSU's played 5 SEC games. Like, where did the season go? I feel like it was just a week ago that we were finally here at Florida State, and you look up and you only got 3 SEC games left now.
Yeah.
It's
felt like I was just yelling at the TV at Florida State days ago.
That's what I'm saying. And here we look, and we got conference races heating up. You got Halloween just a couple of weeks away. Thanksgiving coming after that. And then Christmas. And then basketball season. Which look, basketball season's going to be fun and everything, but God, I love football. Enjoy this journey. In fact, we'll talk about that a little bit more because that's where that Brian Kelly continues to try and kind of hammer in these press conferences. That's where we're going to start today. We're going to break down this Brian Kelly press conference. First off, the boys, how's everybody feeling today? Doing well?
Good. All good.
Oh, okay.
4-0 for the Ducks.
Nice.
10-year-old Ducks got another win last night. The boys are playing well.
Hell yeah, dude. How are y'all winning?
By scoring more points than the other team.
It's generally one of the premier ways to get it done.
No, defense playing great, quarterback playing great too.
Boys, how we doing behind the glass? Mario, welcome back, dude. What's up?
Hey, what's good, y'all? Glad to be back. Had fun in Houston. Definitely could have gone better for the Saints, but still a successful trip. Love the weather outside. Feels really good. Puts me in a good mood. Also, the Pelicans start playing basketball next week. Also puts me in a good mood.
Regular season.
Yes, sir.
That's crazy to think about.
Next week.
Yeah. Time is just flying by faster than I can remember.
How has the preseason gone?
Not well. Not well.
Good.
They haven't won a game. The body language is terrible. Willie Green had a quote the other day, said that other teams are building identities. We are walking.
Ooh.
Why has that been a problem for the Pelicans for the better half of for a half a
I don't know,
decade now?
man. It's preseason. At the end of the day, it doesn't really matter. But you asked me how it was going, and
stuff
it
like
doesn't.
but stuff like that does matter, though. I mean, body language is something you control. That's leadership.
For sure.
Like it was the same thing under Alvin Gentry. It was just constant complaints about guys looking lackadaisical and not really playing hard compared to other teams. Like, what is in the water that's going on there? Are the leaders on the team's personalities just too chill? I don't know.
You would think. I don't know.
Crazy.
They got to figure it out, though.
Yeah, I don't know. That's wild to me. I don't know. Taylor, what's up, man? How you feeling today?
Man, I'm feeling good. Woke up in a good mood. It is vest and boot season for your boy. Excited about that, man.
Some around these, some call that Han Solo season. Okay.
No. Hold on.
What?
Han Solo does not have a drip like this. Let's slow down real quick, okay?
Choose your battles, Taylor.
Let's be painfully clear. I guess, look, in some circles, what you have on is drip. It's a definitive LP drip. I mean,
I don't know. The vest season attraction never goes away.
Stand up, though. Is that a vest or let me see what we're working with here. Yeah. No, that's come on. You're telling me that's not LP drip right there? I don't. It's you're talking more about like a Patagonia. You're talking about like the Patagonia
Columbia
boys.
vest
From BR.
Right.
But also Han Solo is like literally one of the coolest characters ever. It's one of the coolest outfits ever. So relax. Just pump. You think you could stand next to Harrison Ford in a room and stand out?
Harrison Ford?
Young
No.
Harrison
Ford is naturally
Just the guy that played Han Solo in the movie.
I get it.
The Han Solo movie.
That's one of the sexiest men to ever walk the planet.
True. That is true.
Full stop. Legend. Back off. Okay. You know what? Let's get into our opening salvo, brought to you by Skull Axe Throwing. Check it out. They just opened up off of Lee. Over 10,000 square feet, 32 targets to throw at. Date night. If you have an office event, boys' night, girls' night, go learn the joy of drinking beer, eating bar food, and throwing axes. Go to gcaxe.com, gcaxe.com. All right, I want to get into this Kelly press conference. There's a lot that he covered. I want to talk Jaden Daniels. I want to talk the defensive improvement. I thought he had some really good answers there. But let's start with JD5. Like all things do at this point. And Mario, look, you see on here, I have what bites I'm going to want here. So let's just start with the Jaden Daniels INT, and then we'll get into more of what he had to say about consistency in the Heisman and whatnot. Because here was Brian Kelly talking about that interception from Jaden on Saturday.
He threw an interception, so he is human. He was expecting another route to be run in that situation, and it didn't happen. We had somebody walking on the play. So, again, Jaden Daniels has been amazing in terms of what he's doing. I think everybody knows that leads the nation in total offense, passing efficiency. I think the offense in itself and what they're doing, 6 consecutive games of over 500 yards.
Yeah, so how about that? I like the joke about Jaden being human, but how about that? The interception wasn't even Jaden's fault. Who in the hell was walking? We may have to go. We may have to go review the film and figure it out.
Was it not Malik on the throw? But maybe he wasn't talking. Maybe he was saying that
that wasn't supposed to
it
be
was a
his
walking
read or
route,
something.
and he had to go. I thought it was a good play by the DB, but now I got to go back and further investigate.
Yeah.
How about that though? 500 yards. These 6 straight games.
Yeah.
500 yards of total offense.
Well, and so that goes part and parcel with his next point. And this opens up a larger conversation because he's going to do something around these parts that is borderline sacrilegious. He's going to mention the 2019 team. which online right now my mentions are dumpster fire thanks to Aaron's take on snaps that Washington is like 2019 LSU. And I thought this was kind of just like fun. Like, yeah, man, like awesome quarterback, 3 incredible receivers, good running back.
Yeah,
like,
I'm catching some of the
defense. I'm like, okay, cool.
Yeah.
No, dude. Apparently, I've learned firsthand you do not take the Joe Burrow's team name in vain. Right. Otherwise, you will incur the wrath that only religious zealotry can produce. So, be careful. Trigger warnings if that's you, because here is Brian Kelly talking about this offense as it relates to kind of that one and just how special this all is.
It's fun to watch an offense like that. I hope for our fans, they're taking it in. I know 2019 is still, a trendsetter because it led to a national championship, and rightfully so. I mean, those were great players, but you should not take this for granted. This is pretty remarkable stuff. Really fun to see this offense play and the efficiency in terms of what it's doing, in terms of running the football, throwing the football, effectiveness, and then, getting better, certainly defensively.
We talk about like the passage of time and the passage of the season and how quick this is all going, and do not get so caught up in the end game that you lose sight of the journey and what you're witnessing every Saturday. Like, don't be so obsessed with LSU controls their own destiny in the West, or what will LSU against Alabama, that you don't tune in and watch Jaden and this offense work their magic again this week, or that you don't appreciate what this offensive line is doing and consistently dominating every opponent that they line up against, or the emergence of Logan Diggs, or this wide receiver group that finally, for the first time since 2019, is looking like one of the best in the country, even though we continue to crown them best in the country. Again, reflect, be grateful, enjoy it, lean into it, try to force yourself to be present, because, again, you just don't know when this is going to happen again. It's crazy that here we are only 4 years removed, Jake, from a Heisman season, and you're getting another Heisman season at quarterback.
And let's be honest, in Baton Rouge, there was a long period of time where the forward pass felt like it was real work.
Yeah.
And it was a real struggle to move forward with the offense. And you had to go from, Jamarcus and Flynn, and you kind of had a long period of time. Was there, good performances in there? Yeah, there was good performances here, good performances there, but consistently you didn't have great quarterback play. You just didn't. It's something that you search for. Certainly offensive play, I guess I should say.
Yeah.
And you yearn for it. Like, you searched for it, and you just didn't get it. And, like, to have this close together, like, that's what's really special.
I agree.
The fact that you had the greatest offense of all time, and now this one probably doesn't get to that one. I'm just talking about the stats. I'm not talking about the team success, individual stats. I mean, but it's going to be close, and it's going to be one that should be celebrated regardless of how this thing plays out, because this is special. Like, this doesn't happen very often, to have a quarterback, and also the first quarterback that you had coming into a year that was first team All SEC, like, in decades.
Yeah. So living up to the hype, and then
that's part of it. Having the hype and then actually going out there, because a lot of people at Media Day, T-Bob, and I don't know if you agree, it was, they believed in Jaden Daniels. They did, but it was kind of like, it's not really a great quarterback to put first team.
Well, yeah, I mean, it wasn't just Media Day. I think even among the LSU fan base. Remember how every time I talked to a national college football voice and I would explain that there were, like, rumblings or conversation of a quarterback controversy, people looking at me like it grew a third eye. But even here, locally, there wasn't, 100% belief. But now there is. I've been pleasantly surprised with, I think, just talking to people and everybody in the community around LSU, that, yes, people are able to objectively just be like, you know what, this guy's awesome, and we're fully behind him. The craziest part about it is, Jake, that it all happened within 4 years of one another, and it's just two completely different staffs, players, everything, right? Like, you're seeing Heisman greatness once again, and it's a completely different everything than what you had back in 2019. That is so hard and so rare to do. Appreciate it. Here is Kelly talking about, this is 13. Here's Kelly talking about the Heisman, and he was asked a question basically about, like, do you feel like you need a campaign for your player for the Heisman and push? And here's what he had to say.
The Heisman has become such a promotional piece and the flavor of the week that what I try to tell our guys that I've had involved in the Heisman is, look, you're not going to have control over this other than being consistent at what you do. So every day your focus isn't about what they think about the Heisman, because they're going to have opinions that range from one side to the other. Your focus is consistency and performance. If your performance is consistent week in and week out, then it's going to take care of itself. Other than that, they're going to say, well, you're not playing well enough on defense, which has nothing to do with the Heisman. If that was the case, they should have, not given the Heisman to Caleb last year. They lost to Tulane, but they gave him the Heisman.
Yeah, you like that, boys? How about that, dude? So what I love about this answer is he starts it giving an honest assessment of all the player needs to worry about. And he's obviously correct, right? If a player starts to worry about what do I need to put out content-wise to get me the Heisman and not worry about what do I need to do Saturday against Auburn, then against, during the bye week against Alabama, that's going to lead to failure for the player. But I do love the subtle maneuvering there at the end where he does stump for his guy and basically say, I see a lot of you saying that he shouldn't win it because we lost some games because of this crappy defense. Well, guess what? Caleb lost to Tulane. Okay, so let's be real. Give that man the Heisman. Very shrewd move there from Brian Kelly.
Yeah, I hate that Tulane got in the path there because we enjoy Tulane, but he was trying to make a point, and he certainly got that point across. And Caleb Williams lost 3 games, right? You lose 3 games that year. So I do agree with him. I understand at that position that team success is always going to play into the Heisman Trophy. Very few times has it not, and we've pointed those out. RG3, Johnny Manziel, those years, it was almost like
even 3 lost Tebow.
Yeah, that's a great point. They were so good, but also there wasn't other challengers that had the numbers. That's what's the challenge this year. There's so many quarterbacks. I made E.J. Manuel put his top 5 quarterbacks together, right now in midseason, yesterday on the show, and Caleb Williams wasn't in it, Drake May wasn't in it, Shadir Sanders wasn't in it. I mean, so many. He's where do I put them? Where do I put them? Right? And so, because he had Michael Penix 1, he had Jaden Daniels 2.
I think what separates Daniels right now is he has the volume, right? Like a Michael Penix. In fact, he's ahead. He's averaging more yards per game than anybody in the country, over 400 total yards a game. He's ahead of Michael Penix there. He's second in the country only to Caleb Williams in touchdowns accounted for. I think he's 2 behind there. And he's first in passer rating. And so 2 of those things are volume. And you say, oh, well, the defense is bad, and they're giving Jaden, they're giving the offensive ball a lot. And so, of course, he's being set up for better numbers. Okay, but passer rating is efficiency-based. Do you know who's second in the country in passer rating? J.J. McCarthy, the guy who hasn't even played fourth quarters. No, he's been excellent. J.J. McCarthy's awesome. I'd put him in my top 5. But the point is, Jaden is leading the volume and he's leading the efficiency.
Yeah.
So you can't use any arguments that this is just some air raid style attack artificially boosting his numbers. He's getting it done on both fronts.
Oh, and yeah. If you know any air raid principles, the throws that Jaden is making week in and week out aren't air raid throws.
Well, I don't mean specifically air raid. I just mean boosted up by an offense is just wow, we're gonna
but air raid throws. A lot of people think, it's easy throws. No. He's using the middle portion of the football field, really like you never see in college. Very rarely do you see the middle of the football field being used like LSU's offense is currently using it. I mean, it's the thing that stood out to me again this weekend. And I'm sitting there and I'm watching the game with my father-in-law, and we're like, man, this. Between the hashes, a lot of times in college football is a graveyard.
Yeah.
But they continue to hit dig routes and post and different routes, intermediate routes. It doesn't matter. All levels in the middle of the field are open.
Hey, I mean, it could be a graveyard on Sunday as well. Saints fans know all too.
Huh. Did you finally watch the last drive yet?
No, I'm not.
Don't do it.
Back and jumping on that thing.
Actually, do it. It was awful.
I love this quote from Shea, this response to this tweet from Shea Dixon yesterday. This comes from Fizzle679. But Shea tweeted out the Brian Kelly quote, quote, I know 2019 is still a trendsetter because it led to a national championship, and rightfully so, but you should not take this for granted. It's pretty remarkable stuff. And then Jonathan Singletary, the first response on Twitter, well, maybe Notre Dame would be happy with that kind of consolation prize, but I thought he came here to win championships. Okay, hell yeah. Okay. That's how it's done, Fizzle Sticks right there. That is some message board genius. I agree.
Is that you, Taylor? Is that your burger?
Yes, that is. Fizzle Sticks is 100% Taylor's burger.
No.
All right, when we get back, let's get to Kelly's answers about the defense, because this is probably, it's fun to celebrate the offense of Jaden Daniels, but this is where I think the most interesting stuff in the press conference lies. Keep it locked right here on Off the Bench.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
Ooh, it's getting a little cold outside. You need some warm spirits to warm you up. Well, I guess you need some spirits to warm you up. I don't know too many people that are heating their tequila.
Hey, we don't judge.
I don't judge if you want to do that. I don't ice mine down, you know? Like, well, no, I guess it's not entirely true. A tequila shot, I don't want chilled.
I think what we're trying to get to is it doesn't matter how you take it in, it's going to be delicious.
Yes, when I drink my Noel Blanco, though, I generally will throw a couple rocks in there. It's absolutely delicious, though. It's healthy as well if you're looking for a good little nightcap, a little light calories. Tastes amazing. The bottom line is you need to stop buying from Texas and all these other states and start buying from the boot right out of here, Donaldsonville, Louisiana. Chip and Natalie have been working for years to make the finest, exquisite tasting spirits. They're the best. Catch me at Don Wadriga every single week in Noel Family Distillery.
The official tequila of LSU Athletics, you probably noticed in Tiger Stadium. Get it today, noeldistillery.com.
In times of need, get a full list of phone numbers, websites, and other important emergency information on the Demco Stormwatch page at 1045ESPN.com.
When it comes to ending cancer, we push forward, always working together for you. That's why our cancer experts at Ochsner have clinically integrated with MD Anderson Cancer Center. This means advanced cancer care, including access to life-saving clinical trials and integrating care to treat the whole you. Introducing Ochsner MD Anderson Cancer Center. Long live you.
The world's leaders in obesity research, obesity medicine, and obesity science are right here.
We're doing something that no one's ever done or trying to answer a question that no one's ever asked before.
Pennington is a real jewel when it comes to research.
We are finding the solutions to the world's worst chronic disease, which is obesity. Louisiana needs Pennington Biomedical.
Life in Louisiana is like a run-on sentence. A poem that doesn't rhyme. Life is here, now. For life's moments, big and small, always there. The right card, the right care.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Dylan Cruz here to tell you about Six Rings Baseball and Softball Camp. If you live on the North Shore and play ball, go to Six Rings Camps with former LSU assistant coach Dan Canaveri. His knowledge is second to none, and your child will improve and have fun doing it. Camps were held at Coquille Park and Six Rings Academy in Covington with 4 sessions over the summer. Full day and morning only sessions are available from ages 7 to 13. Go to sixringsbaseball.com or call 985-206-9096. Learn the game to love the game.
The best kept secret in town is out. Discover Tallulah at the Renaissance Hotel on Bluebonnet.
Join me for a Tuesday edition of the Hunt Palmer Show. Glenn West talking Tigers, Sharif Ishak talking Saints, and can Jaden Daniels win the Heisman Trophy? I'll give you my thoughts. Hunt Palmer Show, 1 to 3 weekdays, 104.5 ESPN, Baton Rouge.
who's watching me?
I'm just an average man with an average life. I work from 9 to 5. Hey, hell, I pay the price. All I want is to be left alone in my average home. But why do I always feel like I'm in the twilight zone? And I always feel like somebody's watching me. And I have no privacy. Oh, I always feel like somebody's watching me. Tell me, is it just a
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
Yo, what's happening, y'all? Welcome back to NBA. Hope you're having a great day. Enjoy this fall day. Let's dive in here to a couple answers on the defensive improvement. One of the things came at the beginning of the press conference, one came at the end, but I think they build off each other nicely. Kelly Tinn's going to be the first one here. And this was specifically, I believe, was asked about the third down improvement as, what were they? I think teams might be like 7 of 30 or something in the last couple of games. So pretty massive improvement considering the 60% rate that they felt like they were operating at before. Here is Brian Kelly. This is Kelly Tinn on how they're starting to get things fixed.
We're just playing more consistent defense, and it's not just one, it's 11 guys knowing their roles, and I've talked about this a couple of times, and I'll say it again. When the structure of the defense is in place and everybody knows their role within the defense, you start to get complementary defense. Guys knowing their roles allows 11 guys to play together, and we didn't do a great job of that early on. And part of that was, trying to find roles for guys, not knowing clearly what the best lineup was. And, now establishing what that looks like has allowed us to build that kind of consistency on defense.
I mean, they didn't change who they were, T-Bob. When you look at it, they had 21 cover threes, 32.8%. They had 28 quarters coverages, 43.8%. They ran cover one 7 times, which turned out to be 11% there in the game. They actually ran cover 0 5 times, but they've actually run a lot of 0 throughout the year that maybe a lot of people didn't notice, but that's who they are. They're a quarters and cover 3 team. So they didn't really change up the scheme. I mean, they played who they are, but so that plays into what that answer is, guys just figure out what their responsibility is. They're doing a better job of their responsibility, figuring out who does what well. And so, it is encouraging to see that they didn't have to have wholesale changes. The defense was the defense, and they're playing better.
To me, I think there's a lot of layers to this. First, I think it's, this is exactly what we talked about when we talked about, the last couple of games on film when the quarterback's gotten outside the pocket and he scrambled. There's even one play against Mizzou. I can't remember exactly who the defender was, but he takes a step towards the quarterback, and then you can almost you can see him like the same way in that old Quinnen Williams soundbite where he cuts himself off talking about calamari. You can see the defender like take a step and be like, wait, nope. And then, very funnily turn around, ignore the running quarterback, and get back on his coverage assignment. Yeah. And it happened again this last game, right? We celebrated it. And it may lead to a short game, but it didn't lead to the huge game. And the thing about this is, though, Jake, is that it's just about trusting your teammate. If you have contained, don't dive inside trying to make the play. Set the edge. Force it back inside to your teammate, to the safety, to the linebacker, to whoever is supposed to be filling that gap. If this is your man on the play, stay with him and let your teammates worry about the quarterback. Am I a little disappointed that you somehow aren't figuring this out preseason and these lessons are having to be so hard learned during the year because they are very fundamental? Yes, but at least they are being learned, and you're seeing pretty drastic improvement in that regard. But that's all this is. It's just trusting your teammate to do their job and you do your job and know what your job is. And this is something that Kelly's 21. This is something that Brian Kelly would expound upon.
our players are clearly understanding now how important it is for them to do their singular job. And when they function in that regard and that single-minded focus of, if I just do my job, how this all works together. They're starting to see, when I do my job, the linebacker can get to where he needs to, and then the safety can fit the right way, and then the corner can push crack. So I just think that they're seeing how this all fits together. Not that they didn't want to do their job, but sometimes they want to do somebody else's job too.
I mean, it's crazy. Again, that's exactly what we were just talking about. And again, if you want to be negative about it, you can just wallow in frustration that this wasn't figured out sooner, but at least it was figured out. And it seems to be being figured out, and the guys that they have in there now are starting to buy into it more.
Yeah, look, it's in every phase of football, every level of football. I mean, same situation. There's times, and T-Bob, you've been in this situation in pass protection where you see your buddy's losing. You see your buddy doesn't quite have his guy, and you want to help him out. But you know what? I got my responsibility, right? So, like, you can't spend too much time trying to fix his mistake. Maybe you can give him a quick hand presence and then get out to just to try to get him back on his guy. But you have to know, I've also got to do my job because, you know, maybe the quarterback, like if we're in protection, maybe he sees that his guy is losing there, but he's counting on you to get your guy. So when he rolls out of the pocket, he knows you've got your guy. Right, because everybody's got a job to do, and we saw that. I'm trying to think what game it was more than anywhere LSU really struggled with that. You know, really trying to make a play that wasn't going
defensively.
to be yours.
I mean, I would say Ole Miss without a doubt. Arkansas, maybe
Arkansas
even
more
worse
than
Ole
any,
Miss.
probably.
Yeah, probably Arkansas was actually the worst because that's how KJ Jefferson was having so much success. Even this last game, I need these in sometimes to do a better job of keeping contained. There's a little too much diving inside, but still, it is getting better.
I thought Ovi had his best game to date.
And like we said, Parrish Shan, last couple times. We haven't seen much Parrish this year, this far.
You know, Savion Jones, he plays so hard and tough, and you hate to try to take any of that away from him, but to your point, he does lose the edge at times because of it.
I know.
But I think it's I'm trying to inflict pain on the tackle.
That's
exactly
what Kelly's talking about, though. That you can't do that. You can't do that. You got to do your job. We don't need you to do more. Like, this defense is not going to be world beaters. Their best path to be their best self is to do your responsibility. And like to Jake's point, like everything is so interlocking, right? It's why you hear Brian Kelly talk about it was somebody walking on a route. On a different route that was supposed to be run that led to Jaden Daniels' interception, even though you never would have guessed that just from watching how that play played out originally. Swerve TV says, that's the disappointing part. Tackling's probably going to cost us a playoff berth, and that's something that should have been worked in the preseason. It is what it is. You just have to enjoy the stride. Exactly. Okay, I like how you finish that. Yeah. But again, frame your mind. You know, don't wallow in self-pity and disappointment. Get excited that they're getting better and it's getting figured out, and then get excited for the fights to come, and then just let the chips fall where they may. We don't need to be so future oriented. That's a recipe for disaster. It's a recipe for anger, quite frankly, and disappointment. And don't be past oriented either. Like I said, we're going to focus on being present here, guys. Let's play one more answer. I don't have a ton to expound on here, Jake. I want to continue to give Mike Denbrock credit because I was so highly critical at the beginning of the season. And, well, frankly, he has been awesome. This is 8, Mario. This is Brian Kelly talking about what Mike Denbrock's doing to have so much success.
Well, he's central to it because it's, certainly coordinating it. Look, I'm a big believer that, you don't really get a buy-in unless you get everybody to weigh in. So, he's getting input from the entire offensive staff and then, putting it together. It's never a one-man show. It's a collaborative, I think, cohesive event when a coordinator's doing his job. If he's coming in early and scripting everything by himself and leaving everybody else to kind of wonder what's going on, usually have a group that has good days and bad days. This group is consistent, and it's because they all work together and everybody has a role. And credit to Mike's leadership and his ability to bring everybody in to the process. And then, his play calling. He matches play calls to players, gets the ball to playmakers, and that's what this is about. This is not about plays, this is about players. And I think he's hit both of those out of the park.
And that's kind of an interesting answer, Jake, because while I do think they're doing a really good job of starting to build up all of these concepts, and you're seeing the more interconnected whole picture, like we've talked about, the symphony of play calling The idea that he would be more focused on players in the matchups, maybe that's why some of this has felt a little like mix and match at times, because you know what, we're going to try to get this here and this here, and it's really been working to perfection as of like, get the ball to playmakers in space. The 2019 mantra is being executed on at a super high level once again.
Yeah, you had 8 guys catch a pass that you laid out yesterday. T, you got multiple players carrying the football at times, but it's been a lot of Logan Diggs, but they're picking their spots. Like when Josh Williams comes in, like it feels like there's a rhyme and a reason why he comes in. When John Emery comes in, same situation. When you decide to line up the receivers, like when Aaron Anderson comes in, okay, it's like there's a rhyme and a reason for him to come in, and doing a really nice job of spreading the wealth, but also not falling into tendencies.
Yeah.
Like when those players come in, doesn't mean they're necessarily getting the football. It just means that they feel like they can help in that situation. And so they're doing a nice job of not falling into, hey, every time 27's in the game, or hey, every time 4's in the game, or every time Aaron Anderson, every time he's in the game, man, it's going to be like a jet motion. No, they're lining up in the slot and he's doing different things. And so they're doing a really nice job of really just changing up whatever the responsibility is, but also having a purpose for that player to be in there, right? It might be Aaron Anderson running somebody off because of his speed. And it's not just, hey, come in here, we're going to jet motion you, we're going to hand you the football, doing different things.
It was nice seeing Aaron Anderson get a couple plays this last game as well. He had that nice catch. So that
looks like he's back to his speed.
Yeah,
that
that's
he was
weird.
in training camp.
He almost feels like he had to have been hurt earlier, because he's finally looking explosive.
I don't know, but Taylor and I both went out to training camp, and he was fast, and then all of a sudden he wasn't, and now it looks like he is back. So I don't know if he had anything, but even I'm watching, a couple plays right now, even the interception that Daniels threw, he wasn't the one walking.
Okay, there you go. So Anderson, or not Anderson. Oh, I was going to say real quick on the injury front as we go to break. Mekhi Wingo's going to miss this week, and apparently Mekhi Wingo's been dealing with a lower body injury all year long. And so they're going to take this. He's doubtful. I shouldn't say he's going to miss. He's doubtful, but it seems like they're going to take this time to try and finally get him fully healthy. And then all they said about Emory Jones was that it's very manageable. So feels low ankle, not high, no tightrope announcement or discussion, anything like that. But again, we will see. He's doubtful as well. Champ says, T-Bob, the Pickle Noel vodka is great in a Bloody Mary. I know, bro. I know. Pickle vodka is really good. All of it is. It's like, just put it to the test. Ask for it. All right, when we get back, a couple more answers, then we'll move on. We got College Football Power Hour and OTB Mailbag coming up in hour number 2. Underhill in hour 3. Continue to listen. Keep it locked, 104.5 ESPN.
Off the bench with Hester and T-Bob.
All-Star Toyota, BatonRouge.com. All-Star Toyota, BatonRouge.com. The read so nice, we do it twice. Christmas is right around the corner. And if you've ever dreamed of being like one of those commercials and having a car out there with like a bow on it, maybe for a child who's done something very well, or a spouse whom you love, All-Star Toyota can make that dream a reality. Got some great holiday deals you can always check out at allstartoyotabatonrouge.com, as well as the selection, and whether it's new Toyota Center, used vehicles. You want to work with All-Star. They're the best. All-Star Toyota of Baton Rouge.
Yeah, go to the website today, and if you want to build a brand new Toyota, if you want to customize it, if you want to add, if you want to take away, you pick colors, like whatever you want to do to this brand new Toyota, you can do it all right there on the website. You can go check out the leases. You can check out the rentals as well. Tell you about every single day. Our All-Star Toyota of BatonRouge.com.
Our listeners fire off their opinions on the jimsfirearms.net hotline at 499-1045. Keep listening for your next chance to shoot us your thoughts with the jimsfirearms.net hotline on 1045 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Matt Moscona inviting you to join us for Tuesday's AFR, powered by Sunshine, your hometown John Deere dealer in Louisiana. Saints on a short week. We'll get you the absolute latest before Thursday Night Football and an update on LSU Army. Join us 3 to 6, 104.5 ESPN, Baton Rouge.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
Samuel Militello in the chat, he said blocking, not walking.
Yep.
Yeah.
We figured that out during the break. We're sitting there watching the play, and it's like, yeah, he definitely had to say blocking because I watched the initial portion of the play. I'm like, oh, man, everybody's running pretty fast. Who are they talking about there? Then I see Aaron Anderson block.
Yeah.
Then I see him blocking the defensive back, and certainly did not know the play. They should have actually called offensive pass interference. They did not, but it didn't matter because they intercepted the ball. And he was supposed to occupy that safety. Malik was supposed to come, obviously, underneath and across the field, and that's why the interception happened.
So in theory, but this is the perfect thing to highlight because although it's on the offensive side of the ball, it is exactly what we just talked about, right? The do your job portion of that. All it takes is one mistake because Jaden Daniels is seeing the field to such a matter that he's seeing it in his mind's eye, right? He's like somebody playing chess in his head where he knows that safety is supposed to be accounted for, so he's not looking for him. Like he doesn't have to have visual confirmation because he knows what it should look like. And so that's why it's so important. That's why, like, if you ever play for one of those Tom Brady, Drew Brees, I mean, you can certainly speak this with Peyton and PR, like, I don't care how athletic or badass you are. If you're going to do that, that's how you end up not making it on those teams with those quarterbacks. Here's a funny answer. This is Kelly, 14 and 15, about disconcerting signals, the call that just won't go away.
Ryan, with the disconcerting signals call, because that just keeps happening, do you have to, not to try to get you in trouble, but do you have to...
Don't. You pick out these things just to get me in trouble.
No. Do you have to do something differently in terms
We're
of...
going to bring an air horn out there, I guess.
And then go ahead and play 15. That's yeah.
I've had a long conversation with John McDade about this. I think it's ridiculous. We had a safety that was clapping to our corner to get his attention, and we got it called. I said, look, we'll come up with another way of trying to communicate. If you're in the front seven, my opinion is if you're in the front seven and you're clapping, that's disconcerting. You're in the core of the defense, you're in the front. To me, you're trying to simulate a snap. But if you're 12 yards deep trying to communicate with a corner, I just don't get it. But we're going to have to come up with another way of communicating. We actually had a meeting on it today. It's loud even at home. I mean, it's just generally loud at home. So we're actually going to take some safeguards to communicate because we did have a false start because we couldn't hear our ready call. We're in verbal cadence on offense because we don't expect to go nonverbal at home, but we actually couldn't hear down by the end zone. So that's on us. We have to communicate, and we met on it this morning, and we'll have a communication system that works and covers all the rules.
Can I also say, like, hey, just don't be a dummy, referee. Like understand the situation. Like, read the room. Like, if Andre Sam is clapping, looking at the corner to get his attention, you know he's not trying to get a snap count. Like, if you're in the front seven, and also even in the front seven, like if I'm a linebacker and I'm looking over and I'm trying to clap to get somebody's attention, that is not what. No, the whole rule was put into place so you don't stand there and one single clap.
Yeah.
And so because that's what quarterbacks do. Right, and they're going way overboard with this, and now it's become an issue. And now teams have to, in the middle of a season, practice on that, practice time in college, which you only get so much of, and practice this because referees, right, they want to be the smartest guy in the room and throw the flag because, oh, he clapped. No, like, hey, figure it out. You know what he's trying to do and what he's not trying to do.
Dude, you just know it when you feel it. When
So
you feel
dumb.
He felt Andre Sam started clapping. He felt a little scared, and I got to call it. No, it is. I mean, Kelly even went so far as to say, "Look, if it's in the front seven, I get it. It is." But then it's like, how are you supposed to communicate in Tiger Stadium? Again, if it's already too loud for even the offense to hear the snap count, how is the defense supposed to talk to one another if you can't get each other's attention like that. I don't know. That's a tough one.
It's almost like they have a betting pool, and the guy who calls it the most this year is going to get the pot. I mean, how many times in football before this year did you hear that?
Oh, never. I mean, the name is still just funny. We were talking about fecal nuts earlier, and that's just kind of an inherently funny phrase or name. Disconcerting signals is in that same bag. You hear it, and you just start to laugh a little bit and chuckle inside. All right, when we get back, let's close out hour number 1 of OTB. And we're going to make fun of A&M a little bit. More coming up next.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
K2Z window coverings, KTOZblinds.com. Jake, how's your outdoor living space coming along?
It is going along very, very well. And again, they are customizing this to our backyard. They're customizing this to our space. And we told you, like, there's different screens. I thought there was just one. It's like, no, actually, there's one if you only need it for bugs. There's one if you need it for solar issues, right? You have the sun, it's right in your area, and you need to block the sun. Obviously, that's going to be a different screen. And he's going to color match it.
Yep. Well, and so, I mean, look, that's the level of expertise. Go look at the reviews for K2Z if you don't believe me. If you overhear your wife, your husband, whoever cares about interior design in your home, if they're talking about indoor window treatments, you want to send them to K2Z. You are going to get those brownie points. And remember, outdoor kitchen shades, the exterior market, interior. Let Brandon Barton take advantage of his nearly 3 decades of experience. Come into your home and figure out what is best for you. K2Zblinds.com.
In times of need, get a full list of phone numbers, websites, and other important emergency information on the Demco Stormwatch page at 1045ESPN.com.
Edition bonus cash, $1,000 bonus cash. So come on down to Happy Town. That's Corvell Toyota in Opelousas, Happy Town, USA.
When is a taco more than just a taco? When it's Government Taco. Voted best tacos 3 years in a row by 225 Magazine, Government Taco puts the most delicious spin on tacos the capital area has ever seen. With creative combinations like the Magna Carrot, the Filibuster, or the Steak of the Union. Plus perfect tortilla chips paired with the best salsa and queso you've ever had. And happy hour every day from 3 to 6 p.m. and all day on Thursday. Government Taco, 5621 Government Street.
His name was Cain. He had a horse along the countryside. I saw him ride. One day they found him.
Electricity is all around us, and our families depend on it. Every day is sparked by the power of a cold drink or a warm meal, a movie night, and a comforting light at the end of a dark hallway. From sunrise to sunset, playtime to bedtime, our team is ready to take care of your electrical needs. Even in the case of an after-hours emergency, the light in your life shines brighter with Mr. Electric.
It was a humid day, barefoot children play, looking for that summer shade. Time just slips away. Oh, Louisiana, some kind of hold on me. Like cypress stumps, your roots are planted deep inside of me.
Dylan Cruz here to tell you about Six Rings Baseball and Softball Camp. If you live on the North Shore and play ball, go to Six Rings Camps with former LSU assistant coach Dan Canaveri. His knowledge is second to none, and your child will improve and have fun doing it. Camps were held at Coquille Park and Six Rings Academy in Covington with 4 sessions over the summer. Full day and morning only sessions are available from ages 7 to 13. Go to sixringsbaseball.com or call 985-206-9096. Learn the game to love the game.
Scooncha, fall in the air. Fall is right around the corner, which means fall fishing is, which means it's time for you to take your boat to the next level with front-to-back boat service in a bunch of different ways. You want a custom stair job, you can have a ton of fun out there on the water. They can do that. What about a spot lock trolling motor? So you stay right where you need to in casting lines. Or sonar that's let you see the fish under the water before you cast. All of your maintenance needs
Charles Hannegriff, join us for the Tuesday edition of Live at Lunch. We are at Doe's Eat Place on Government Street in Mid-City. Andy Isco joins us from Las Vegas. Live at Lunch, 11 a.m. weekdays on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
Obviously, we've made some jokes about the troops around here, but, everybody
you got a
knows.
mouse in your pocket?
Yeah, we're a team. Remember Foxhole? But I hope everybody knows that, obviously, that, we love and support those who make, the ultimate sacrifice to give up I don't mean through death in battle, though obviously that is the topmost sacrifice somebody can make, but just sacrificing your youth, your time, your everything, your energy, your life to protecting the country and serving others. I loved this answer about Brian Kelly. He was kind of asked about, is Tiger Stadium intimidating for smaller schools? And here's what he had to say.
I don't know that, when we talk about the nation's best leaders that are going to go defend our country, that they're worried about a little bit of crowd noise. I think they're probably going to enjoy it. Actually, Saturday's their best day. Monday through Friday is really hard. Saturday's kind of a day off for these guys. They train hard, they work hard, they go to class. These are days they enjoy. But our atmosphere does make a difference. I mean, it creates a home field advantage that is special. I mean, it definitely makes it difficult. We saw Auburn struggle with some play calls, and certainly puts the pressure on teams when you come into Tiger Stadium.
Yeah, I just like the beginning of that because it is so true. It's got to be so overwhelming to be an Army student athlete.
Oh, my gosh.
Everything you got to deal with. So Saturday is kind of like the day off in a lot of ways, the fun day.
Whenever we went to Army-Navy last year, Bobby and I were interviewing the captain of their soccer team, and she was going over their everyday schedule.
Oof.
And T-Bob, I thought we, when you're a freshman, you got study hall, you got all the extra stuff, and you kind of complain about it. I was like, I will never complain about what that was again, because it's all, it's their entire time there. It's not just 1 year, and it's 6 a.m. until 11 at night. They're doing something.
How about this? This is a video that A&M put out there, and I'll read the tweet from G-Man Vols because I think he sets it up perfectly. I want this with sound. Texas A&M put out a video about the Yell Leaders on game day, and I promise you are not ready for the last 30 seconds. Here it is.
Then we go to our locker room to go over the game script to eventually run out in Kyle Field, and then that is when the whole fun begins. So we run out with the team, feeling the 12th man energy, then we get to our distinguished spots to lead the war hymn and the yells with the 12th man, and we know exactly which ones we're about to do because the head yell leader, Zach Cross, will give a pass back that the 12th man knows. And after a Fighting Texas Aggie win, all the yell leaders gather on the end zone to lead the war hymn right in front of the Corps Cadets freshmen, in which right after we finish the war hymn, they tackle us and carry us to Fish Pond, in which we then lead the yell practice to finish it off by beating the hell out of the team that we're going to be playing next. Well, that's what a game day looks like for a yell leader. We hope to see the 12th man come out and support the Aggies for Fighting Texas Aggie football. Thanks, and gig 'em.
What was that? Every win they do that at the end? I want to be clear. Is this am I making fun of this? Yes, and it is funny. I do love it. There is sincerity there that is lost in modern society. That it's real us for us cynical hyenas to sit here and laugh. I like the sincerity. I like the weirdness. It's like cowbells in Mississippi State.
No, it's not. Do not put that on Mississippi State. Do not do that.
Wild. So every single game, the freshman cadets mob the yell leaders. carry them on the shoulders, dump them in the water in their all white suits, and watch them swim around and lead a charge?
Only if they win.
And they're like, oh, they got us again.
Oh, yeah.
It's
so good.
Stop saying fighting Texas Aggie like so quick and like making it forced. Like fight Texas Aggie. No, you're Texas A&M. Okay, you're not Texas. You're Texas A&M. That is your school name. Stop forcing things. It's weird. Like if you're a normal student there, like you can't think that's tight. Like you can't you can't be like, oh yeah, we got the Yell Leaders.
Obviously, you've never seen a Yell Leader swim after a big win. I mean,
in an all-white coveralls.
Once you experience it.
Off the bench with Hester and T-Bob.
And I do love Yell Leaders, to be clear.
No, you don't.
Yes, I do. I legitimately do.
There's literally no way you do.
Yeah.
No.
I remember going in an inning game in 7th grade, and I was mind blown at how awesome the crowd was. Yell Leaders are fun. I like them. That's all very weird and easy to make fun of, but I do like them.
What part of it?
How coordinated
Tell
all
them
is.
about Accutemp.
Accutemp, Baton Rouge, AccutempBR.com, AccutempBR.com, all your AC, heating, and electrical needs. You go to Accutemp, go look at the online reviews, right? And take advantage of your fighting Accutemp, Baton Rouge. No, I don't know. I tried. But look, go for real. Get that service to the highest degree. Ask about the Star Club membership. Take control of your comfort zone today.
AccutempBR.com is the website. You can watch their videos and not be freaked out by them. Go to the website to check out those 5-star reviews as well. They are the absolute best. AccutempBR.com, AccutempBR.com.
Follow us on Twitter at 1045ESPN to cast your vote in the Citizens Bank and Trust Poll of the Day. Vote daily inside Off the Bench, live at lunch on Palmer. And after further review, Citizens Bank and Trust brings you the Poll of the Day via Twitter at 1045ESPN.
Electricity is all around us, and our families depend on it. Every day is sparked by the power of a cold drink or a warm meal, a movie night, and a comforting light at the end of a dark hallway. From sunrise to sunset, playtime to bedtime, our team is ready to take care of your electrical needs. Even in the case of an after-hours emergency, the light in your life shines brighter with Mr. Electric.
Dylan Cruz here to tell you about Six Rings Baseball and Softball Camp. If you live on the North Shore and play ball, go to Six Rings Camps with former LSU assistant coach Dan Canaveri. His knowledge is second to none, and your child will improve and have fun doing it. Camps were held at Coquille Park and Six Rings Academy in Covington with 4 sessions over the summer. Full day and morning only sessions are available from ages 7 to 13. Go to sixringsbaseball.com or call 985-206-9096. Learn the game to love the game.
Scooncha, fall in the air. Fall is right around the corner, which means fall fishing is, which means it's time for you to take your boat to the next level with front-to-back boat service in a bunch of different ways. You want a custom stair job, you can have a ton of fun out there on the water. They can do that. What about a spot lock trolling motor? So you stay right where you need to in casting lines. Or sonar that's let you see the fish under the water before you cast. All of your maintenance needs as well. For 38 years, they've been at it and will continue to do so. The Sherman family of front-to-back boat service.
Running Boards Marketing can help you get their attention. Imagine your brand's message on a giant LED billboard truck that can't be skipped and is nearly impossible to ignore. Running Boards Marketing is the leader in effective and affordable advertising on digital mobile billboards, which are 2 times more effective than traditional billboards. With a 97% recall rate, you'll leave a lasting impression with your customers.
At Relief Windows, we're more than windows. We're windows, doors, hardy plank, and vinyl siding. But our #1 product is always customer satisfaction. Visit us online at reliefwindows.com.
Good morning, everybody. It is AM on Tuesday, October 17th. Today in Baton Rouge, expect clear skies with a high of 76. Coming up on OTB, we have a new edition of OTB Mailbag at 8:15, so get your questions into Bayou Ford YouTube chat. We also talk Saints with Nick Underhill of NewOrleans.football at 9 a.m. You can follow us on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok at OTB_ESPN, or catch us on YouTube at the 1045 ESPN channel. Hour number 2 of Off the Bench, live from the Mercedes-Benz Baton Rouge studio, starts now.
Let we go! All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Jacob Hester and T-Bob Hebert.
Yeah.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Hey, they said I gotta come off the bench.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. Yo.
What's happening, y'all? Let's kick off a little college football power hour here on OTB. Graybeard, T-Bob was towed from the flow up, about to throw up on Whiskey and Wine postgame. About to throw up. This was the first, I will say this was the first Whiskey and Wine where I was kind of struggling to find stuff to talk about. It's kind of like the same thing, how the film review only ended up being 3 pages this week. It was just a little too good of a performance. Like there wasn't enough to get mad about. It was kind of chill. Everybody was just kind of casually talking, where normally everybody's glued to the TV and every single play it feels like your soul's about to be ripped out. Man, this year has really made me recognize just how much I do love the battles. And I know nobody will ever believe me, so whatever, I don't care. But, like, I really don't think it would be fun to be a Georgia fan or a Michigan fan right now. I don't.
I know. I really honestly, like, I do know what you're saying. And LSU's had that at times, but not, like, multiple seasons like that, like you're talking about with Georgia. I mean, I agree with you. And I know we're in the minority there. Like, I enjoyed – maybe that's why I'm a Chargers fan. I enjoyed watching last night and being like, okay, like it's probably not going to go the Bolts' way, but you know what? They're in it. Well, they're in it to the final drive. And then I was so mad at the TV. I'm yelling at him. I'm like, I might punch Taylor on principle as soon as I walk in there this morning. But that's what we do it for. Like, that's what the feeling is.
There's levels to everything, though, and the Chargers may be a bit too far down that scale for my taste.
I made the playoffs last year, though.
Yeah, no, that's true.
You know what I'm saying?
That's
so,
true.
like,
That's true.
and we made the playoffs every year when I was there outside of one.
Look, he did have some harsh words for me when he walked in this morning. And I said, it's not my fault. I didn't play last night. So.
Immediately. I just got it out for my chest.
That's fine. I understand.
Did I multiple times sit there and I'm watching it with Jackson and I'm like, why would Taylor choose this team? Why would he choose to? I swear, in my thought process, I'm like, this is the team he's riding with. But it's okay. We'll get over it.
I mean, they won.
Yeah, they won. They played the Chargers. But, I mean, just
don't
watching
blame
them.
Taylor. It's his
Like
father's
Jerry
fault.
Jones
Is it your father or your
Mike
grandfather's
McCarthy
fault? Whose fault?
I mean, technically both if you think about it.
But no, I'm saying who bears the original sin here? Your grandfather?
Me?
No, just making you a Cowboys fan.
I mean, my dad made me a Cowboys fan, but his dad made me
one.
So
it goes to your grandpa then. It goes to your grandpa. Okay.
Because my dad lived in Dallas till he was about 5, and then they moved to Alexandria.
Okay. Yeah,
I'll say 318.
Yeah, I was watching Babadook, but it was very funny kind of following along with the Monday night game on Twitter and seeing Cowboys fans ready to fire Mike McCarthy and all the charts going around about Kellen Moore versus Mike McCarthy. And then by the end of the game, they're like, oh, Cowboys are awesome again.
It was like Taylor Swift level coverage before the game, T-Bob. Like I can't tell you how many times Troy was like, Kellen Moore and Mike McCarthy shaking hands at midfield before the game. I'm like, every coach does this. Like, what are we doing, guys? But neither offense actually did that good. So.
Was Aikman doing what he normally does on Cowboys broadcasts? Would he just deriding the Cowboys the whole time?
I didn't really notice. I tell you what, he jinxed the Chargers, though. Again, if you're not a fan of that team, you notice it more. I mean, I didn't overly notice it. He did jinx the Chargers bad.
And how could he not love the Cowboys?
He jinxed the Chargers bad.
And I get it. Yeah, I get it. The Cowboys do numbers. You put a Cowboys legend on the Cowboy broadcast. It's good business, but it sucks for everyone else.
So I audibly laughed when he said this because he was like, it was like fourth quarter, key moment in the game. It was a 3rd and 1, and he goes, Micah Parsons has been quiet. He's only had 1 tackle, barely any pressure. What happens? Micah Parsons sacks Justin Herbert. I just laughed when it happened. I was like, you jinxed him, bro.
Broadcast is jinxed.
But So he wasn't getting pressures because
Oh, no, he's getting pressures.
I was gonna say Herbert got pressured on like 42%
No, yeah, he
of his drop back.
47, I think.
47, yeah.
He did an incredible job of just finding something to get the ball.
That was the first time he was sacked all night, right?
Yes, and I am ready to come out here like Jon Snow and defend Justin Herbert on Twitter. I mean, last night I had like 73 replies. Like the people I know and like and respect slander Justin Herbert. I'm like, do you know who your quarterback is? I mean, I'm just like, all right.
Somebody asked if he was quiet quitting.
Don't send
Are
them.
him and Joe Burrow, they got the bag, or are they quiet quitting now? Are they just pure little Gen Z boys who now that they got paid?
Well, there's a lot of Saints fans that were on my timeline. I'm like, wait a minute.
Hey.
Hold up.
Hey. Derek Carr said it's unacceptable, okay? He's going to get it right. I will say this for Herbert. I read that he was playing through a fractured finger on his non-throwing hand. That man's body is going to be just a pile of shards of bone and no cartilage and pain if he continues to play for the Chargers. Like he may have to pull an Andrew Luck and retire early because I swear this dude is just playing with bad injuries, just 24/7.
Yeah. And even Rashawn Slater struggled last night. They're really, really good left tackle. And Dallas has obviously got a hell of a rush. Will Clapp had one where he gave up a big hit on Herbert last night. It's just, he was taking some shots.
Slater had a couple mental mistakes, too.
I know.
Yeah,
he
it
played bad
wasn't
last
just
night.
physical.
And then Trey Pipkins, God bless him, was trying to block Micah Parsons. How many offensive line penalties? At least 6, right? I think that's 6.
The refs were bad in that game. We were talking about that before
for
the
everybody,
game.
For everybody, Cowboys and Chargers.
No, T-Bob, there was one, you know how, the ref will get over the ball and hold it for the team to sub? Well, the ref gets out of the way, so Dak snaps the ball, and then they blow the whistle. They're like, no, you didn't give the defense time to sub.
That was funny.
He held it, and then he left, and then he tried to run back in. He's lucky he didn't get trucked.
Yeah.
And then they tried to flag the Cowboys.
And he called it off. Did they pick it up eventually?
They wound up not flagging.
They just redid the play.
But then they tried to take a timeout away from the Chargers because of a successful challenge.
Guys, refs are human too.
Two challenges that San Diego, that the Chargers had to use where it was clear and obvious, in my opinion, certainly one of them, the one that they called a catch, that ball skipped on the
Jake
ground.
Ferguson,
yeah. And the Chargers had to use a challenge on that one.
All right. Well, congratulations. I guess Cowboys saved their season. Otherwise, you're looking at 3-3 and utter disaster. Chargers still fine, right? 2-3. Get to 3-3. Probably get to 5-3, then 5-4, 6-4, and you look at maybe 9-8, a little 10-7 action. You think?
If they're 9-8, Brandon Staley's done.
Well, the good news. Look, the good news for the Chargers is.
Then he'll probably save his job.
Okay.
The good news for the Chargers, they're not going to beat the Chiefs for that division, but Broncos and Raiders are bad. So you can still get a wild card. That division outside of the Chiefs is not good.
Oh, man.
Sorry. We were supposed to talk college football here.
No, I know. Weird way to start the college football power hour for sure. I had something else.
These players all played in college at one time.
They did.
Yep.
Yeah,
Confirmed.
Justin Herbert's little brother caught a touchdown Saturday in that
did.
beautiful classic up in the Pacific Northwest.
did.
All right, let's do this. I'm going to read you some more A&M numbers as Emil McClellan continues. I think Emil just sits in a room all day and finds awful Texas A&M numbers that are very funny.
Fighting
I've
Texas
added
Aggies.
some. Fighting Texas Aggie numbers, and I've added some myself. Again, I do want to highlight. I know we did this exercise yesterday, but it's so funny to me. These Texas A&M's last 24 second-half drives, both against Alabama and Tennessee, ranked teams that they had the lead upon a halftime. You go punt, fumble, punt, touchdown, interception, field goal, fumble, punt, miss field goal, fumble, interception, punt, miss field goal, safety, field goal, punt, field goal, miss field goal, interception. Really take a moment and appreciate what that would feel like as a fan. That would feel so awful, and so infuriating, especially given the offensive struggles last year. Again, Jimbo Fisher 7-15 all time on the road, and that includes going 4-1 in 2020. So probably feels even worse to LSU or to A&M fans. How about this? Jimbo 0-10 as the underdog, has never pulled off a single upset when he has not been expected to win. And then this did not come from Emil. This comes from, maybe he did to this. I can't remember. I think he did actually. This comes from Kyle Umlang, who I think that's how you pronounce his last name, but he's a big Texas guy, right?
Huge Texas
yeah,
guy.
huge. Like, if you want to get a view into the Texas hive mind, you want to follow Kyle.
Yeah.
Since joining the SEC, Texas A&M has spent $895 million on stadium and facility upgrades and guaranteed head coach salaries. They had a win percentage in the Big 12 of 52%. $900 million later, and after a decade in the SEC, they have a win percentage in the SEC of 53%. So they spent $900 million and got 1% better from a win percentage standpoint. And the worst thing is, Jake, if they do buy out this staff this year, which, again, they're probably going to lose to Ole Miss, probably going to lose to LSU, or at least they'll have a good chance to, right? Another 7-5 season looks like it's coming. If they buy out this staff and then hire another one, that'd be around $100 million. You'd be looking at a literal $1 billion spent for a decade of mediocrity. Unreal stuff.
It adds, though, T-Bob, and that's crazy. I mean, we're talking $1 billion. But it just adds to the question that I've asked and never get an answer to. Why can't Texas A&M play for anything of real note and real meaning? 1939, last national championship, all right? 1998, last conference championship. And they've only had one since 1994. You spend that much money and you're still not successful. Like, think about that. Think how long ago 1939 was. Yes, obviously. But 1998 wasn't a second ago.
No.
I mean, you're talking about 25 years since they've even won a conference championship. Why can't Texas A&M be elite in football? You're in Texas, one of the most fruitful states in recruiting. You have the desire. You have the money. You have the players. But yet, time and time again, you underachieve to the highest level of underachievement.
Yeah.
Nobody can answer the question. Nobody. Texas has won a national championship.
It's a Bear Bryant curse.
TCU has played for a national championship since then. I mean, we're talking about just teams within their own state have more success.
They're chasing the ghost of Bear. They ever since he left them at the altar after saying he wouldn't when they were going into an uber important Rice game back in the 50s, and then he leaves them after they lose that Rice game after saying, I'm not going to be the next head coach at Alabama, and they just never bounce back. They've been trying to find their Bear replacement ever since. Which
there was also another guy that said he wasn't going to be the head coach at Alabama. Turned out pretty well for him too.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
What about if you did fire Jimbo? Because it's something that me and Aaron were arguing about yesterday. Because Aaron's like, I'm only firing him if I got like a championship coach to come there. And well, here's the deal: there are no championship coaches.
Is Aaron
available.
Timmy now?
Yeah. No, I don't know. I just do that with stupid opinions. But I was like, look, there is no.
Wait. Okay. Sorry. Start over
Yeah.
because I got lost in the Timmy voice. He said what?
No, he was like, I'm not firing Jimbo unless I've got like a championship coach. And I'm not.
Okay.
He's not talking about firing Jimbo. I'm more talking about, okay, if you did, who would be the replacement? What is this idea? And he's saying like Urban Meyer or something like that.
No.
Like, what is this idea of a championship coach? Because it doesn't exist.
No.
It doesn't exist. There's nobody out there. You're going to have to take a shot. And it should be Mike Elko. It should be maybe a Jamie Chadwell. You'd have to give it a long look. Like, there is no coach out there that has national championships on the resume that is still relevant and still good that you're going to be able to hire.
I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. Okay, Mac Brown, Jimbo, Dabo, Kirby.
Yeah, for current and Saban.
That have a national championship, and obviously Coach Saban, but not even throwing him because
Coach O's gone now, so yeah, I think that's everybody.
5.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, what do you mean?
So yeah, when you throw
But
out
Urban Meyer's technically,
but
like,
no.
No.
Urban Meyer, if you bring him back, you need to look in the mirror. So that's 5. I mean, so they, to T-Bob's point, they just don't walk around like, oh yeah, you won a national championship, yeah. No, there's 5 guys currently that are coaching it. I mean, it's very hard to do that. You need to get that because that's what you did last time. That's what they did with Jimbo.
That's exactly what I said. So what you're saying is you need to go through the same exact hire. Like, you want to use the same blueprint they used
Yes.
for this last hire that is going so disastrously.
I would pull my hamstring running to Durham to get Mike Elko
I
to be my
agree.
head coach.
I mean, that's the only time A&M was good under Jimbo was when Elko was there. Duke right now is giving up less than 10 points a game. They got a good one coming up this weekend as well at Florida State. Is Riley Leonard still going to be hurt?
Yeah.
Oh, that sucks.
I mean, they hadn't officially ruled him out, I don't think, but look, Duke last week. I mean, housed NC State. I know they're not Florida State certainly, but God, I wanted to see Riley Leonard against
Well, what they
Florida
called
State.
it a 3 to 4 week injury,
Yeah,
right? It's been about 2.
This will be like Saturday will be 3 weeks.
Okay, so I mean, there's a chance, but I doubt
so
it.
much of his games with his legs,
Yeah,
not
he's
even
running.
just
Yeah,
running.
yeah, yeah.
I mean, he certainly can run, but just buying time. I don't think he plays.
We had an A&M fan in the chat yesterday talking about Dan Campbell coming back to coach the Aggies. And and it is obviously absurd. He's 5-1 Detroit. He's becoming a living legend. And no coach ever will choose college over the NFL if
No.
actually given the choice.
Certainly not now.
But there is something deeply funny about if he did, would that not be the ultimate sign of the Texas A&M cult? Like just the belief that place can foster if Dan Campbell left the Detroit Lions to go be the Fighting Texas Aggie head coach.
Speaking of curses, they're still trying to break the Bobby Lane curse from 50 years ago.
We're trying to win a playoff game?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
Well, they've won one since then.
Yeah,
And
one.
Stafford was supposed to break the curse. He got drafted 50 years after. Now we're almost pushing 60.
What's the JFK stat?
Yeah, they've won one playoff game since he's been dead.
Yeah, JFK's only missed one Lions playoff win.
Yeah, I know. Sad. It's sad. But we love to see our boys thrive. Shout out the Lions. 5-1. Kicking ass. All right. When we get back, OTB mailbag. Get your questions in the chat. More coming up next.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
All-Star Toyota BatonRouge.com. All-Star Toyota BatonRouge.com. I cannot wait to get into that second Sienna, man. Had to get a little delayed, but yeah, I am fired up. Brand new. Going to take advantage of everything that's developed over the last 3 years. I mean, Jake, you remember we took a rental Sienna down to Mobile, and that thing like a spaceship basically at this point, but also, the Sequoia, the Tundra, the same techs in all of these vehicles. So if you're in the market for a new vehicle, maybe a Toyota certified used vehicle, or you still get warranty coverage, maybe you just need a rent, you want to go to All-Star Toyota Baton Rouge right there by Airline Highway, All-Star Toyota BatonRouge.com.
Yeah, we tell you about the rental process every single day, and everything is available, right? And T-Bob mentioned it. Like, we took the Sienna to Mobile, but you can get the Sienna, you can get the Sequoia, the Tundra, Tacoma, whatever you need for that rental, they've got you covered. If you want something better on gas mileage, obviously they have hybrid options as well. So if you've got a trip coming up, go rent today from All-Star Toyota of BatonRouge.com.
Our listeners fire off their opinions on the JimsFirearms.net hotline at 499-1045. Keep listening for your next chance to shoot us your thoughts with the JimsFirearms.net hotline on 1045 ESPN Baton Rouge.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
The Windsor Senior Living Community in Mandeville, Louisiana is a beautiful, vibrant apartment community geared towards seniors. They are nestled right in the heart of Mandeville, where seniors live a more carefree lifestyle in spacious apartments with the peace of mind that comes from having a little extra help. Call the Windsor at 985-624-8040 to schedule a lunch and tour. Come see how the Windsor can be your passport to peace of mind.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Electricity is all around us, and our families depend on it. Every day is sparked by the power of a cold drink, or a warm meal, a movie night, and a comforting light at the end of a dark hallway. From sunrise to sunset, playtime to bedtime, our team is ready to take care of your electrical needs. Even in the case of an after-hours emergency, the light in your life shines brighter with Mr. Electric.
Dylan Cruz here to tell you about Six Rings Baseball and Softball Camp. If you live on the North Shore and play ball, go to Six Rings Camps with former LSU assistant coach Dan Canaveri. His knowledge is second to none, and your child will improve and have fun doing it. Camps were held at Coquille Park and Six Rings Academy in Covington with 4 sessions over the summer. Full day and morning only sessions are available from ages 7 to 13. Go to sixringsbaseball.com or call 985-206-9096. Learn the game to love the game.
Scooncha, fall in the air. Fall is right around the corner, which means fall fishing is, which means it's time for you to take your boat to the next level with front-to-back boat service in a bunch of different ways. You want a custom stair job, you can have a ton of fun out there on the water. They can do that. What about a spot lock trolling motor? So you stay right where you need to in casting lines. Or sonar that's let you see the fish under the water before you cast. All of your maintenance needs as well.
Join me for a Tuesday edition of the Hunt Palmer Show. Glenn West talking Tigers, Sharif Ishak talking Saints, and can Jaden Daniels win the Heisman Trophy? I'll give you my thoughts. Hunt Palmer Show, 1 to 3 weekdays, 104.5 ESPN, Baton Rouge.
Those fingers in my hair, that sly come hither stare, that strips my conscience bare, it's witchcraft. And I've got no defense for it. The heat is too intense for it. What good would common sense for it do? 'Cause it's witchcraft.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
I love this because I think crooning and cold weather go together like, you know,
oh man,
peanut butter and
I hate
chocolate.
that I didn't have my headphones on.
And witchcraft also, you know, obviously we're hitting a little Halloween vibe. So nice work.
Hold on. Okay.
What?
I agree with everything you just said. I'm mad I didn't have my headphone. This is one of my all-time favorites.
Yeah, well, do your job.
Dude, what's my job? Have my headphones in?
I don't know. That's a problem. We should have figured this out in preseason.
Fighting Texas Aggies.
Here we are in the middle of the season trying to make it happen. Hashtag OTV mailbag.
Special delivery! I have this special delivery from the bench. And look, it is marked most urgent.
They'll be writing to you.
The internet. What the is the internet?
All right, welcome back. OTV mailbag. Will you boo the ever-living heck out of Army when they come out the visitor tunnel?
No.
No, unless, what about this, Jake? Instead of the troops, what if we sided, all we need to do is rally all the Navy boys and the Air Force boys and girls to our side, right?
Right.
Because they all hate the Army.
Yes.
So, okay. So we can side with the troops and hate Army. We just have to side with the other branches of the military. If we can still get a majority of the branches on our side, then I feel like we're in pretty good.
Just wear Navy gear to the game.
Yes.
Yeah, like in protest?
Yeah. Okay, great. So yeah, let's double down on hating these young servicemen by stolen valor wearing naval uniforms.
No, like a Navy football shirt.
Do some stolen valor on top. I agree, Taylor. I love where your head's at.
I don't mean gear. I mean like a Navy football shirt.
Like
Taylor shows up with like the sailor's cap on and the bib.
Obviously, you gotta rush the field if you do that. Like you got to run onto the field.
Obviously, like they're all like at the end goal, like they're all fighting for our country but like the rivalry between the branches, like when you go to Army Navy, like it is intense. And also, like, you know, my dad being in the Marines, I remember we had a practice like at we're at Coronado where the Navy SEALs do it, and I remember like saying something to him, and what he said back to me, I'm like, oh, like that's like real. He goes, oh yeah, it's a real thing, like Marines, Navy. Like, he's like, we're all like, once you get together, he said, but make no mistake about it. Like, there is tension there about, which branch. And I guess it's like, okay, I guess it is kind of like a team.
I mean,
even though you're all fighting for, the country.
Air Force looked pretty cool in Top Gun.
That's not.
Army looked pretty depressing in Platoon.
Air Force is not Top Gun. They're in the Navy.
What are you going to do? Still not the Army. Hashtag never Army.
And then Miramar is actually a Marine base where Top Gun used to be.
How do you...
You really thought Top Gun was the Air Force?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, Navy.
What dictates whether or not you end up flying planes for the Air Force or flying planes for the Navy?
I don't know. Brian Burgess could tell us.
Hashtag OTB mailbag. Do the kids get candy corn if there's trick-or-treating this year? Yeah.
Oh, yeah, and I eat it all.
I already got some. I've had some in the house, for sure.
Candy corn is legit.
Yeah, I got a bag. I've eaten it on game days now, just sitting on the coffee table.
I love that waxy texture, dude.
I do too.
I just love it so much. Hashtag OTB mailbag. It's National Pasta Day. What's your favorite pasta?
Ooh, a shrimp and crawfish, like Cajun fettuccine style thing. That's like one of my favorite dishes across the board.
Yeah. Like one where you got to take a nap.
Oh yeah, you got the thick white creamy sauce. Yeah.
A lot of whipping cream, kind of hard to beat.
Yep. Little butter, a little garlic in there.
I mean, even though I don't eat that often at all, maybe once a year, I think you're probably right. Honestly, I'm trying to think of what pasta I would enjoy more. I do love a good lasagna.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes like just a good lasagna.
Good.
It's hard to beat. Like what you're saying is good. I feel like I need to go take a nap after that, but it's really good. But sometimes like a well-made lasagna.
He was like, yeah, I got lasagna. I was like, is this like homemade or frozen? He goes, nah, man, it's homemade. And I was like, you think about it though? I was like, every lasagna, like even the frozen Stofers, I was like, it's all good.
So I've never had a bad lasagna. I was going to say, lasagna's got a little bit of that Chinese food factor where a frozen Stouffer's also slaps.
Yeah, I was like, I've never had a bad lasagna.
It is, yeah. No, I'll take like a really well-made real one, but like don't sleep on a frozen Stoufs. Whereas like, I don't think you're going to pick up frozen shrimp fettuccine. Pasta.
I mean, I might, but the average person, no.
Hashtag OTB mailbag. Who set the tone in the locker room when you played there, and where are they from? Tyron Matthew, New Orleans.
That's a great question. Who was... I'm trying to think 07, because Putt wasn't somebody that was out and about. Ricky Jean was really good. Ricky Jean Francois.
Yeah, for sure.
Ollie Highsmith was good, both from Florida. Sneaky good, though, was Curtis Taylor.
Yeah.
Curtis Taylor was
Brandon
really
Taylor
good.
was as well.
Yeah, maybe something they got there. Curtis Taylor, he didn't talk a lot, but when he did, it was really good.
Hashtag OTB mailbag. According to SpongeBob, every villain is A, evil, B, bad, C, mean, or D, lemons.
D
Feels
is
like
correct.
lemons,
Yeah.
right? Yeah,
I don't know what you're talking about.
You just use context clues. The other words are all too similar. Lemons
Yeah.
is the odd man out here.
There's some.
Well, and it spells evil, by the way, guys.
Yes.
What does?
Every villain is lemons, evil.
That's what it is.
That was the acronym in the show.
That's what it is. Well done,
They
Taylor.
went.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay, nice job. Hashtag OTB mailbag. Emil writes in, if a fan had a tattoo on your face, would you be thrilled or horrified? I don't know if you all saw it yesterday, but the Nets released a video, and there was a fan that has a Ben Simmons tattoo, Ben Simmons' face on his chest.
No.
Imagine being a
Simmons.
Ben Simmons fan. Like, that's terrifying.
Yeah.
Imagine having sex with that man and seeing him take his shirt off, and then you just have Ben Simmons
It's not
staring
my
back
thought,
at you.
but sure, that would be weird as well.
I have a buddy from college.
What do you do?
You stare?
You're like, you're a big Ben guy, huh?
I have a buddy from college that has a big tattoo of Joe Burrow on his thigh with like the EAUX. And when I'm with him, it's, around other LSU people. And normally, I know you kind of cringe just now, but he looks really cool with the Joe Burrow tattoo.
Okay, how far up on his thigh that he just
hold on.
casually shows it off?
No, time out though. You're missing a key element here. This is not. Yes, there's a separate conversation about the weirdness of getting another man's face tattooed on you. But in one, you're talking about God, essentially. The greatest, most perfect football player that we've ever seen in college football. On the other, you're talking about Ben Simmons in the NBA.
Exactly.
Which is an abject disaster.
Yeah, that guy looks less cool around his friends.
Yeah.
I mean, but like how far up his thigh? Because you were like, yeah, he looks cool around LSU people when he shows it off.
Like slightly above his knee.
How weird would it be every time you pee to just see Joe Burrow staring back at you? Odd.
Is it like just the back of the jersey?
Yeah,
Like,
with the EAUX.
Oh, it's not his face though.
I mean, you're saying it like it's
okay.
you're saying it like it's normal.
No,
though.
it's the back. It's from the back. You just see the EAUX on his jersey and him
Just
doing
the
like
jersey,
that.
or no? Oh, it's actually
Yeah, it's his head, not his face.
It's not as bad as a face.
Not as bad.
It's a commitment. It's a commitment to a great team. It's a commitment.
Hashtag OTB mailbag. Did the Saints waste a roster spot with Jimmy Graham? Didn't he score a touchdown that one game? It's one of the Saints like 5 touchdowns on the year, so no.
For sure. I think he has as many touchdowns as Kyle Pitts this season. Got to research.
How about the Saints are on pace with over 14 of them things? Hell yeah.
14
dude.
what?
Touchdowns. Hashtag OTB mailbag.
Bro, y'all.
Going to
if
Dallas
it doesn't get
this
better, y'all
weekend.
got a lot of explaining to do when y'all yelled back at me for the offense.
No, it's not my fault that they didn't play Jameis last year.
I was pretty indifferent. I wasn't like on
Mario.
the Derek Carr is going to be great train.
Mario. For the last 2 years, y'all told me Jameis Winston was better than Kirk Cousins.
Yes, Jameis
He
is a
is.
separate thing. You
He
won.
is.
I
Now
lost.
I'm
He
with
still
you all day
is.
on that.
Of course you are,
And then-
Taylor.
Why?
Yeah,
because
I know,
Kirk
I know.
Cousins is Wonder Bread?
Right, we're opening up old
I
wounds.
like
This
Kirk
is a different.
Cousins. What do
No,
you
you
mean?
don't.
Yes,
Kirk
I
is
do.
always hating
Kirk
Kirk
Cousins had nothing to do with this conversation.
What was my literal first thing I said after
Well, it
watching?
does have because y'all, that was the argument last year, and then
Yes.
this year
What was the
lost.
first thing I said
I
after
was like-
watching one episode of Quarterback? I said I really like Kirk Cousins. I said it's impossible not to watch a show and not like Kirk Cousins. I love musical theater. So does Kirk. We have a lot in common.
You don't
But
appreciate his
Jameis
skill
Winston's
set.
better.
No.
You really don't believe that.
Yes, I know it. It's Dennis Allen.
Y'all
What's the
did
common
believe that last
What's
year.
the common denominator in all this suck? DA and Pete Carmichael, okay? Get him out of here. Man's 18 and 40.
How much money do you have tied up to Derek Carr?
A lot.
Yeah.
And look, I said it in the offseason. I'm a Derek Carr fan. Guy's not playing well right now, though.
Well, when you don't play the Chargers twice a year.
Champ says, hashtag OTB mailbag, going to Dallas this weekend, snack stop in Krotz Springs for boudin or Natchitoches for meat pies?
Both.
Yeah, why not both? It's a far enough way away where you could do both.
Yeah, it's about 2 hours. 2.5. Yeah.
Yeah.
2.5
Exactly.
hours. Yeah. Do both. Meat pies are good, but there's some places that are a little bland with the meat pie. You gotta spice the meat in there.
Yeah, I guess I don't know what my go-to spot in Natchitoches for meat pies would be.
That one gas station, if you're coming from Baton Rouge, you get off, and it's about 2 gas stations down on the right. I don't know the name of it, but they got some great food there.
Hashtag OTB mailbag, favorite non-candy treat to get during trick-or-treat? Anything salty. I love chips, dude. I just love chips. Like, I'm obsessed with any
You're talking about like
sort of
trick or treat,
chip.
and they'll throw it in the bag. Like realistic, like.
But it's not candy.
Do people put chips?
Yeah, nowadays you get like maybe like Pirate's Booty or like like a
I've seen
random
the
grab bag of Lay's.
Like
little
pretzels.
mini
yeah, pretzels. Yeah,
Yeah.
pretzels.
what is the mini popcorn balls? I've seen those before.
Yeah.
Goldfish.
Love goldfish.
So-
Goldfish are
Some
great.
people put goldfish.
Love goldfish.
Yeah, goldfish are great. So one year, I don't know how this happened. Someone Amazoned 30 boxes of chips to our house. And I think it was a listener on Sirius XM. They heard me joking about feeding all the kids. I don't know how they got our address. They said 30 boxes of chips. And I mean, we went through a bunch with all the boys we have, but for trick-or-treating that year, we gave out chips.
There you go. That's what I'm saying. Why not?
Yeah. It's kind of creepy, but I was also like, if you want to do that again, you can.
God. Chips at the lake. One of the best feelings in the world.
Good Lay's potato chip at the lake.
I actually bought a bag of Lay's when I was hungover Saturday at a kid's birthday party. My options were limited.
Wait, you were hungover Saturday?
Yeah, because I went to that concert on Friday. And that's why like I have a very hard rhythm during football, and normally Friday is no drinking, just chill out, and that's kind of sent me for.
What concert was it?
Hardy and Lainey Wilson.
Oh, you went to that?
Yeah,
That was right here at the River Center,
I'm
right?
a big country music fan, Taylor, and it was awesome.
Oh, why did your pass say Hell State?
Because Hardy's a big Hail State guy.
Ah,
He's from
okay.
Mississippi State.
Okay.
And all the rooms were stocked with Busch Light.
Yeah.
So I drink about 30 of them things. You know,
Nice.
not as good as Kerr's.
Yeah.
But still, you know.
Did you meet
I
Laney?
forgot that.
Did you meet Laney?
Yes. Yeah.
I forgot to ask you why they said Hell State. Didn't know Hardy was a Hell State guy.
She seems very kind. I don't know. I just said hello. It's fascinating to me how these meetups work and how all this social media stuff works. Like, basically, her and Theo Vaughn interacting were like two planets entering each other's orbit for a little bit. And there's like a 1-to-1 ratio of photographers to just people. And they stand in the middle of the room and talk, and everybody else just stands around them and stares. And there's like photographers snapping pictures the whole time. And then they, the planets do their galactic dance, and then they go their separate ways, and you kind of rinse and repeat with other celebs. Very, very interesting to see all of this. I'd never seen anything like it. Yeah. It was a fun concert, though. Hardy kind of goes hard.
I've seen Hardy in concert
Not necessarily
twice.
my music, but
Yeah, me either.
Some good headbanging at times there, dude, for sure.
I was about to say, like, if you want to go like the traditional word, like, I don't consider Hardy country. He's a little bit
More
of
rock.
everything. Yeah, he's more rock.
Yeah, that's probably fair. He has that one song where it starts as like satire and then it comes pretty hard, like. I love that one. That
Yeah,
one's
it's
tight, dude.
The Crow and something else.
Yeah, my neck is still sore. Oh yeah, that's his like alter egos or
Yeah.
something, right?
Something like that.
It was fun though. It was a lot of fun. All right.
Did Kevin Mawai call you out for wearing the tag?
No, thankfully not. But I did get to clown Brandon Walker from Mississippi State being so bad, so that felt.
Yeah, I bet that felt great.
Yeah, that felt great. Mockingbird and the Crow. That's what it is. Good job, Landon. All right.
Man, if you don't stop.
When we get back, we got to go to break. We already beat. I want to talk about
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
the most interesting thing going down in each Power 5 conference right now. So get your thoughts right.
Okay. Ready.
Get Gordon and get it done and get ready to get what you deserve when you get Gordon by calling 225-888-8888. You get an accident, somebody's going to fight for you. You want Gordon McCartney, injury attorneys. What do they say when you're about to go into a big football game? Strap it up! Just like the giant Gordon statue did on that billboard where he's a giant man. He now has a giant purple helmet on it representative of the G team. You know who's on that thing? Malik Neighbors, Jaden Daniels.
Yeah. Pretty good.
All your favorite players. Go to Get Gordon on social media. Check it out.
Also, with basketball season coming up, a lot of GT members on that team. Baseball as well. I mean, doing big things for the Tigers. And it can also do big things for you. Go to the website, getgordon.com. Website's got all the information there. You can have a chat right now if you're already at work. But if you can, get to the phone. Area code in Louisiana, follow about 888-8888. Get Gordon and get it done.
In times of need, get a full list of phone numbers, websites, and other important emergency information on the Demco Stormwatch page at 1045ESPN.com.
Bayou Ford is taking $10,000 off MSRP on select new 23 Ford F-150 trucks. And all new Bayou Ford vehicles come with a 1 million mile warranty. The crew at Bayou Ford is going to do right by you.
Scoocha fall in the air. Fall is right around the corner, which means fall fishing is, which means it's time for you to take your boat to the next level with front to back boat service in a bunch of different ways. You want a custom stair job, you can have a ton of fun out there on the water. They can do that. What about a spot lock trolling motor? So you stay right where you need to in casting lines, or sonar that's let you see the fish under the water before you cast. All of your maintenance needs as well. For 38 years, they've been at it and will continue to do so. The Sherman family of front to back boat service.
At Relief Windows, we're more than windows. We're windows, doors, hardy plank, and vinyl siding. But our number one product is always customer satisfaction. Visit us online at reliefwindows.com. Oh, by the way, we do shutters too.
The importance of doing this fortified program and offering it to people down here is, number one, the only real chance you're going to get to do this is when you put on a new roof or build new. And through companies like HUDCO, who's kind of leading the way in this thing, it's going to offer the customers a huge advantage in the insurance market and the price of their insurance.
You know, we're not looking to make a fortune off fortifying. We're trying to give you a better product than our competitor at the moment. I'm trying to do something that he can. I'm trying to give you something better. So a lot of these insurance shops, you're getting a re-roof, you're only paying your deductible. Let's sit down and talk about the Fortified and let's see what it does to your insurance premium. You're getting a steal.
Yeah.
You're getting a brand new roof and a Fortified certificate for your deductible, essentially. I think we're rocking and rolling.
Running Boards Marketing can help you get their attention. Imagine your brand's message on a giant LED billboard truck that can't be skipped and is nearly impossible to ignore. Running Boards Marketing is the leader in effective and affordable advertising on digital mobile billboards, which are 2 times more effective than traditional billboards. With a 97% recall rate, you'll leave a lasting impression with your customers.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because
Matt Moscona inviting you to join us for Tuesday's AFR, powered by Sunshine, your hometown John Deere dealer in Louisiana. Saints on a short week. We'll get you the absolute latest before Thursday Night Football and an update on LSU Army. Join us 3 to 6, 104.5 ESPN, Baton Rouge.
Something in your eyes I see soon begins bewitching me. It's that old devil moon that you stole from the skies. It's that old devil moon in your eyes. You and your glance make this romance too hot to handle.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
To your razzle dazzle.
Welcome back. Welcome back to Off the Bench. Most interesting things going on in each Power 5 conference. We haven't talked Brock Bowers yet today. It's okay, though. It's okay.
I got to a spirited conversation with EJ yesterday because I just think that's massive. And he's like, "How do they got players? It's Georgia. They got players."
Aaron's saying the same thing, dude.
What?
Yeah, I think it's crazy. I think it's crazy.
It almost makes me angry because Brock Bowers, when we say he's a unicorn, it's not just catching the football.
Yeah.
It is the attention that he bears.
Exactly.
You have to know exactly where he's at. So you're overplaying so many things, right? And what he can do in the run game as well. Is he the best blocker ever? No. But he is so willing, and he is George Kittle-like, where he's going to try to maul you. I mean, he opens up a lot in that run game. And because they're playing so many different things to try to stop him, it opens up what? Things in the running game.
Yeah, it's
that's crazy that Aaron has that thought.
It's like okay. Not only I mean, to Jake's point, that's exactly how I feel on it. Not only is Brock Bowers literally, no exaggeration, essentially doubling every other receiver up, in terms of catches, in terms of yards, touchdowns. Like he has by far the most production. But it's not just about making up those numbers. The tight end position is so unique because of the matchups that it creates. And Brock Bowers is always an advantage against a linebacker, a safety, a corner, whoever.
Yep.
And now you don't have that. And sure, Ladd McConkey's good and Lovett's okay. And, like Rah-Rah and Rosemy Jack Saint, like these are all good players, but none of them represent anything as unique as Brock Bowers. And so you lose a big matchup. And again, it probably, now Georgia may get lucky here. Because again, we know they don't play anybody. Ole Miss is probably the toughest game remaining on their schedule. And whatever Tennessee's going to do.
Ole Miss in Athens, right?
Yeah.
Pretty sure.
course.
I think every game on their schedule is a home game.
Neyland.
Yeah, no. They literally have like 7 of, is it 8 of 12?
And then they go to Tennessee, but that's not that far of a trip.
Yeah, it's crazy.
So Ole Miss, Florida, Mizzou, Tennessee still left on their schedule.
Yeah.
Okay, which Mizzou, I think Mizzou's
Guess
the
where
most
that
exciting
game's
thing
at?
happening in the SEC right now.
Is it in Athens?
It's in Athens.
Yeah, I know.
No, but look,
it's crazy. I don't.
T-Bob, it goes more than just like, oh, Brock Bowers is a great player. You mentioned the wide receivers, like they're not great, but like Carson Beck, he's a guy that's been in the system for a long time, but this is still his first year. He's still a young quarterback. When that young quarterback gets in trouble, he's like, I got to find my guy. Where's my guy? Where's my safety valve? He's not there anymore. They're probably going to start Oscar Delp. He's a solid tight end. He has a couple touchdowns this year, but he's not Brock Bowers.
There's not a Brock Bowers in the country.
No, so I think, look, but again, Georgia has an easy schedule, so it might not affect them. And then if Brock does actually manage to come back by like the SEC championship or the playoff and he's healthy, okay, then Georgia maybe escapes no harm, no foul. But I don't understand this idea that like they're just gonna this just be the same without him, or I don't understand the idea that if he had to miss the playoffs, that they would still be capable of winning national championship. Because I don't think that is the case.
Is that your most interesting thing in the SEC?
No, not at all. My most I mean, I guess it actually technically is. My most interesting thing is all about the SC East, but we actually have to go to break. So let's go to break when we get back more to me.
Off the bench with Hester and T-Bob.
I might have to revisit the most interesting things going on in the Power 5 in hour number 3, I'm thinking.
Or we can start the process.
We can do. Yeah, we'll definitely do one next, but then we may have to pick it back up there. Go to Community Steel Company, baby. CommunitySteelCo.com. Go check out the website today for all your steel needs. Purlin, tubing, steel buildings. It's all there in Gonzales, Louisiana for you. Go check out their facilities, which are doubling in size right now, and the growth rate is so extreme because, well, the customers are so happy. And Community Steel is serving their customers' needs, both on a customer service level, given that they're live, they're local, they're right there, relationships, you talk to them, you know them, but the prices as well, right? There's not some national crap with a bunch of middlemen jacking up the price for the consumer on the back end. You are getting the best prices, the best products. CommunitySteelCo.com. Go check it out today or go see them in Gonzales Community Steel Company.
Our listeners fire off their opinions on the JimsFirearms.net hotline at 499-1045. Keep listening for your next chance to shoot us your thoughts with the JimsFirearms.net hotline on 1045 ESPN Baton Rouge.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Electricity is all around us, and our families depend on it. Every day is sparked by the power of a cold drink or a warm meal, a movie night, and a comforting light at the end of a dark hallway. From sunrise to sunset, playtime to bedtime, our team is ready to take care of your electrical needs. Even in the case of an after-hours emergency, the light in your life shines brighter with Mr. Electric.
Dylan Cruz here to tell you about Six Rings Baseball and Softball Camp. If you live on the North Shore and play ball, go to Six Rings Camps with former LSU assistant coach Dan Canaveri. His knowledge is second to none, and your child will improve and have fun doing it. Camps were held at Coquille Park and Six Rings Academy in Covington with 4 sessions over the summer. Full day and morning only sessions are available from ages 7 to 13. Go to sixringsbaseball.com or call 985-206-9096. Learn the game to love the game.
Scooncha, fall in the air, fall. is right around the corner, which means fall fishing is, which means it's time for you to take your boat to the next level with front-to-back boat service in a bunch of different ways. You want a custom stair job, you can have a ton of fun out there on the water, they can do that. What about a spot lock trolling motor? So you stay right where you need to in casting lines, or sonar that's let you see the fish under the water before you cast. All of your maintenance needs as well. For 38 years, they've been at it and will continue to do so. The Sherman family of front-to-back boat service.
His name was Cain. He had a horse along the countryside. I saw him ride. One day they found him.
Charles Hannegriff. Join us for the Tuesday edition of Live at Lunch. We are at Doe's Eat Place on Government Street in Mid-City. Andy Isco joins us from Las Vegas. Live at Lunch, 11 a.m. weekdays on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
Yo! Welcome back to OTB. Congratulations to Angel Reese. Just signed a massive deal with Reebok, Jake said. I was like, oh, that's interesting. LSU's a Nike school. But, Jake, who's now president of Reebok basketball?
Yeah, didn't know this either. Shaquille O'Neal is president of Reebok basketball. He said, for my first appointment in this role, it had to be the GOAT. He's talking about Angel Reese. There is no one making a bigger impact on the game right now than Angel Reese. That is from Shaquille O'Neal, apparently the president of Reebok basketball.
VP?
Double-double, respect double-double. You know what I'm saying?
VP of Reebok, Allen Iverson. They signed on at the same time. They broke last week.
They both
Shaq's
had
president, Allen
iconic
Iverson
shoes.
VP. Yeah.
They both had iconic shoes with Reebok.
That's cool.
You know, okay.
Both
all right, Reebok.
in the NBA Finals.
You know, my experience with Reebok NFL uniforms, I wasn't sad when we went to Nike in 2012, but
the Reebok gear was trash.
Yeah, it was bad.
My bad, Shaq. Chill out, dude.
Hey, what's football, though?
I didn't say basketball. I didn't say now. That was a long time ago with me and Jake.
God, those Allen Iverson shoes, I'm checking those out right now.
I just can't believe that Allen Iverson brought that Sixers team to a final.
I know.
And then he had to go up against Shaq and Kobe. Like, that's fair at all.
I know.
It's so stupid.
One game won.
I know. But I'm saying, like, what the hell?
Legendary run. At least it's fairly well remembered amongst NBA fans.
I mean, his step over Ty Lue is
Yeah.
one of the, even though, again, they won one game, that's still iconic.
Very.
Ooh, these answer shoes, solid.
Down. Patrick Vines. I don't understand what you're so upset about, Patrick. I'm sorry. All right. Most interesting thing in the Big Ten. We got a couple minutes. We can at least do that. We got Nick Underhill coming up next to talk Saints. Jake, what do you think the most interesting thing going on right now in the Big Ten is?
I think it's Penn State, and have they closed the gap enough? We're going to find out this weekend. They travel to Columbus to take on Ohio State. Have they closed that gap? Because they were a damn good football team, 11-2 football team, went to a Rose Bowl, bullied a bully in Utah, won the Rose Bowl. Have they caught up with Ohio State and Michigan? Because if they have not, it's going to be another 11-2 season, probably going to end in some type of a New Year's Six game, and fans are going to probably still be disappointed.
I'm just finally happy that we get a battle of two of the three boobs. Remember, the Big Ten right now is the three boobed women off of Total Recall. They're very top-heavy, very unique in that way, but not really a lot to care about outside of that. And yeah, for Penn State and James Franklin, can they take that step? And I love that they're starting with Ohio State because I wouldn't feel good about them going up against Michigan, but I do feel like the Ohio State matchup is much more even. Maybe even Penn State having the advantage. I'm going to watch the film today. So from a game standpoint, yes. I also think it's hilarious that Iowa's going to win the Big Ten West again because, of course, they are. And they're going to do it with the worst offense ever, but that doesn't matter.
6-1.
6-1. And they just beat Wisconsin 15-6 in a game in which their starting quarterback threw for less yards than the Missouri punter. In case you missed it, Mizzou's punter had a 4th and 10 through a 39-yard touchdown. The Iowa quarterback finished 6 of 15 for 37 yards.
Solid day.
Oh, my
Solid
God,
day.
dude. Oh, my God. I love it so much. I love it so much. All right. Coming up next, we're talking to Nick Underhill. Remember, quick game, boys. We're only a couple days away from the next Saints game day, taking on Jacksonville. Ask what goes into a short week, as well as where the Saints' heads are at. More OTB. Keep it locked right here.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
RejuveMeMedical.com. RejuveMeMedical.com. How do I get pricing for advertising? Oh, my God, that's really good. I was thinking advertising, but advertising's even better. James, DM me. Go to RejuveMeMedical.com. Restore me, refuel me, rejuve me.
DM me for what?
For details on
Thigh pics?
No, advertising.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, remember if you want to buy this space right here.
Sorry.
Look, I don't care if you're 20, 30, 40, 50, male, female, whatever the case is. You got weight gain, mood and memory, energy, not seeing the gains that you used to. You want to go to Rejuve Me Medical and let them customize a plan for you. Maybe it's HRT, maybe it's not. Maybe it's semaglutide, maybe it's not. Maybe you just want B vitamin shots to give you a little more energy every week. The point is, they have so many different ways to help you, and they customize the plan to you, what your body needs. Rejuve Me Medical.
Yeah, go to the website, RejuveMeMedical.com. Find a full list of conditions they treat for you. RejuveMeMedical.com.
Life in Louisiana is a song. A symphony of sound, colors, and movement. Life is here, now. For life's moments, big and small, always there. The right card, the right care.
Running Boards Marketing can help you get their attention. Imagine your brand's message on a giant LED billboard truck that can't be skipped and is nearly impossible to ignore. Running Boards Marketing is the leader in effective and affordable advertising on digital mobile billboards, which are 2 times more effective than traditional billboards. With a 97% recall rate, you'll leave a lasting impression with your customers.
It was a humid day, barefoot children play, looking for that summer shade. Time just slips away. Oh, Louisiana, some kind of hold on me. Like cypress stumps, your roots are planted deep inside of me.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Electricity is all around us, and our families depend on it. Every day is sparked by the power of a cold drink or a warm meal, a movie night, and a comforting light at the end of a dark hallway. From sunrise to sunset, playtime to bedtime, our team is ready to take care of your electrical needs. Even in the case of an after-hours emergency, the light in your life shines brighter with Mr. Electric.
Good morning, everybody. It is 9 a.m. on Tuesday, October 17th. Today in Baton Rouge, expect clear skies with a high of 76. Coming up on OTBOT, we talk to Nick Underhill of New Orleans Football. Coming up next, you can follow us on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok at OTB_ESPN, or catch us on YouTube at the 1045 ESPN channel and subscribe for daily content. OTBOT, live from the Mercedes-Benz Baton Rouge studio, starts now.
Let we go! All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Jacob Hester and T-Bob Hebert.
Yeah.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Hey, Peter, they said I got to come off the bench.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. Yo.
Yo, what's going on, yo? Welcome in. Hour number 3 of OTB. Just watching the Saints run 4 Hail Marys in a row, seemingly, trying to get in the end zone at the end of last game. He's just going like 4 verts every time. Yeah. Head away, Pete C. Stretch the field. I feel what our boy's thinking of there.
Yeah. I think he thought you'd get a penalty if you threw it between the hashes.
Well, there's a lot going on. There's a lot of players in the middle.
That's true.
There's not as many on the outside. You got to remember that, Jake. Come on. Keep up. Let's go to the phone lines. We got our guy Nick Underhill from New Orleans Football. Nick, what's up, man?
The end of that game was almost like, have you guys ever seen the movie Tin Cup?
Oh, yeah.
Yes. That's actually perfect, dude.
Yeah, it's just like, damn it, we're gonna make this work. Like it was the same play, three out of four downs. Like it was just unbelievable. I've never seen anything like it. The players almost looked like they didn't know what to do on the play. You got Shaheed confused. You got Olave confused. It was almost like they drew the play up in the dirt and were just like run to the trash can break at the light pole. Like it was crazy. It was just looked so disorganized, and the play calling there was truly unbelievable.
Are we reading too much into Derek Carr going in the sidelines and yelling at Pete Carmichael?
You know, you see that stuff all the time, and when things are bad, it takes on one life. When things are good, it's just like, oh, well, that stuff happens. People get emotional on the sidelines and stuff. You know, I kind of looked at it like Pete was yelling at Derek a little bit, but and you know, Derek shot back. But, yeah, I don't know. You know, when things are bad and you aren't executing it all looks different, and everything takes on a different tone. So, you know, I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, everybody should be frustrated. Pete Carmichael should be frustrated. Derek Carr should be frustrated. Everybody on the field should be frustrated. The tone in the locker room after the game it felt like being in a 1-5 locker room, not a 3-3 locker room. Like there is an urgency and a desperation right now because they all know they should be better. Like it took a while last year for it to kind of set in because I think that there was kind of a feeling in there like, all right, the starting quarterbacks are, there just isn't enough talent. It was kind of understandable why they weren't good. This team right now, if they stay on this pace, they are on pace to throw for 14 total touchdowns in 17 games. It is unbelievable.
God.
Like it is most anemic things you've ever seen. So I want to see people screaming at each other because they should be pissed off. It's horrible to watch. It's got to be even worse to be a part of. I want to see the emotion. So as long as it doesn't manifest into like something hideous or insidious, I think it's a good thing to see people yelling at each other.
So the red zone is just, I mean, because that's the weirdest part about this offense is, like, I think they're one of the best in the league at not going 3 and out. Like, they're not just an overall awful offense. They're pretty good at getting a little movement, getting close, but they are, I mean, horrendous. October, Halloween, scary bad when it comes to the red zone. And look, you got Mike Thomas out here saying, don't blame the coaches. This is on the players. But then I look up and, like, you know, Pete Carmichael has sucked for a while now. And what sucks for Dennis Allen is I don't care how much he's grown or what a better coach he is. It's impossible to shake that overall coaching record when you keep having these disappointing losses. So, like, who does the blame lie on for the red zone being such an abject disaster?
Well, I mean, one of the things you got to look at is you got a guy at quarterback who's had these issues now for you know, a decade. He was good 20-20 with the Raiders. And at a certain point, you know, you got to say the zebra has stripes. And we're 6 games into the season, and it's just the same red zone issues over and over. You know, I think it's a little too simplistic just to blame one guy wholly for everything that's going on. But I don't think Derek Carr's been part of the solution there. I think he's been a little bit part of the problem. Like he locks onto a guy and doesn't necessarily see everything that's going on down in that area of the field. And you can go through, and there's people that he missed. And look, I guarantee you can do that with every single quarterback. You know, I'm sure Drew Brees had plays like that all the time too. It's just kind of, you know, part of the deal when something goes wrong, you're going to nitpick it. But excuse me, it's been an ongoing thing with him forever. So I think it's a huge issue. I think the play calling's been bad down there. There's been a couple games where it's looked good and creative, but you know, overall it's not working. But the thing that I would use to exonerate Pete Carmichael here is I would show that Jameis Winston was over 70% in that area of the field. Andy Dalton was over 70% in that area of the field. Derek Carr is not. And, you know, there's a commonality, which is Carmichael through all that, and there's one guy that's the outlier here. At a certain point, you got to look at the outlier, and I just don't think that he's executed down there well enough. And, you know, it's a massive issue. You can't win like this. Like, it's just not sustainable. Like, they got their head above water at 3-3, but you have to score. Like, you can't have your offense be, let's get to the 20, and then Blake Grupe has to score 21 points, and Tyrann Mathieu has to have a pick six. Like, that's just not a way to win football games. So it is the biggest issue facing this team. DA said yesterday he thinks they can grind it out. He had a year where his defense was bad in the red zone, and they found a way to grind it out. You know, I'm a little, I'm not. I got to see it. I'm not confident in that ability right now. I think that's just the result of what we watch. It's just hard to believe in anything with this offense, but. You know, they got to find a way to get Mike Thomas involved down there. It's maddening that you aren't getting your best contested pass catcher the ball. Like, you know, the Chargers, they recognize Keenan Allen can catch every contested ball. They throw him the ball 10 times a game. You know, he's a red zone weapon. I don't understand how Mike Thomas has a 0 next to his name. You know, Jimmy Graham, I don't think he has a ton to offer in the other 80 yards, but like those, or even the other 95 yards, but those last 5, like, why isn't he out there making plays? He made a contested catch for a touchdown there, but it just doesn't make a lot of sense to me. You know, some of the stuff they're doing down there, and you know, I think it's some play calling, but it's Carr's a huge part of it.
Nick, the offensive line is horrid, and it would be bad no matter like how the player was acquired. But the fact that you've spent so many draft resources on this offensive line and they're still that bad, that makes it hurt even more. I mean, first-round picks all over the place, second-round picks. You've tried to do everything you can to shore it up. But even the players like Ryan Ramczyk, who, like T-Bob says, I mean, he was looking like he potentially could be a Hall of Famer the way he started his career. He's not playing well. Can you get it fixed? How do you get it fixed? And how are they this bad?
Yeah, it's kind of shocking, too. And you would think that you know, the coach has the pedigree. Doug Maroney, 2-time, you know, head coach, offensive line guy forever. But, I mean, you know, I go back and forth on him, and you know, I think he did a lot to get Cesar Ruiz better and kind of where he needs to be. But like overall, the blocking as a whole the last 2 years, it just hasn't been as good. They don't even run block well anymore. Like the outside zone stuff, like that, it's just like guys are disorganized, and it isn't working the way it should be. There's not a lot of room to run the ball. And look, I'm sure part of that is like Alvin getting a little bit older, but when I look at him, like he doesn't look slow. It looks like he has good bursts, but he has nowhere to go, and the holes aren't there. And you know, I think that's a big issue. The player development is frankly incredibly disappointing. Like Trevor Penning being on the bench, I don't necessarily disagree with the move. I think he's had a lot of issues, but I think you also the other side of that is you know, benching him at this point in his career is kind of, it's a tough look for your drafting and development. And, you know, I'm not closing the book on him. He'll probably end up starting Thursday night because you got injuries at both ends of the line, both tackles there. I doubt Ramczyk's going to be able to play with that concussion. So, you know, and if Hurst plays still, I think Penning probably ends up on the field somehow. But, I mean, the fact that you're there is a very tough place to exist. And it's kind of across the board. I think McCoy's been a little bit better the last couple of weeks. Mm-hmm. Even him though, he had a slow start to the season. I thought last year he had a little bit of a down year relative to the rest of his career. So like they aren't really ascending there. You got Cesar Ruiz like up to an average level, but everywhere else it seems like it's kind of slipped back a little bit. And I think the fact that Pete wasn't in that starting group to start the season is kind of crazy to me too. I don't understand that decision. I think he's probably your best guard on the whole team, and he's on the bench, and I don't understand that decision either. You know, I thought James Hurst had issues early on. I thought Pete should have been in there, and it probably would have opened some things up. The fact that he can't stay healthy for, a week at a time, though, is a massive issue. So, I mean, I guess that's probably part of the calculation there to try to get some consistency. But it has been a mess through and through. And I don't know how it gets better. Like, honestly, I don't know how anything on offense gets better. Like, you're just looking at it, and it doesn't get better. And it hasn't really gotten better for 2 years now. So I don't know how it gets better with, them doing what they're doing right now.
New goal. Let's bump up the pace to 17 touchdowns. 1 touchdown a game. And then, I mean, look, on the road to improvement, you have to give yourself small, attainable goals to later get to larger ones. Who are the Saints talking about, Nick, when they're talking about somebody not putting in the work?
It's a good question. And I think there's a lot of people that you could probably look at. I mean, I think, some of the players probably. I mean, look, some of that messaging could be to coaches. Like, they aren't as creative as they used to be. Like, remember when they would play a team and there would be like 3 plays and we'd find out. And look, Pete Carmichael was part of putting this stuff together. There was one against the Bills. I want to say it was in I can't remember the year. It was like 16, maybe 17. Like, it was 17, I think. 17 or 18. Anyhow, like, they went through and they found a play from like 16 games before where there was a tackle over play, and they figured out how the end defended the run, and they brought it back, and they used it 3 times in the game, and there was like a 45-yard run on it, and they installed that in the game, and it was like, it was a huge talking point. It was like, Pete was like up in this room, and he found, like, where is that stuff? Like, where is that level? And, I do think that just in general, the Saints overall are probably struggling a little bit to find the same level of intensity and preparation since Sean Payton and Drew Brees left the building. I think just having those guys around puts everybody at a level that you just have to be at it. Like, Drew's level of preparedness meant everybody on the team had to be at that level of preparedness. But, like, if they're sitting there week 6, yesterday, Derek Carr, DA are up at the podium, and they're talking about, like, preparation and getting on the same page and communication, and you're more than 33% of the way into the season, like, I just don't think that you're necessarily where you need to be. That's kind of like a training camp talking point, not an in-season talking point. They're audibling plays, and guys don't know what the audibles are, and not everybody's communicating right. Like, they had to call a timeout because they couldn't get the play out. At the end of that game, the timeout they took after they stopped the clock, they're in the huddle. They can't get the play out because they're in the huddle, and not everybody knows what the call is, and they're trying to explain it. I mean, this is stuff that just it can't be happening at this point in the season. So I think that messaging is probably for everybody. And, the guys that were around before, they're looking around, they're seeing this stuff happen. Like, they aren't used to it. And, I think it's a massive, massive issue that they got to figure out. I mean, it's crazy that you're talking about the stuff. And look, it comes down to player accountability, but like, if your players aren't being accountable, your coaches have to find a way to make them accountable. And at a certain point, someone's got to go, someone's got to sit, someone's got to do something to let everybody else know that, like, hey, when you show up on Wednesday, like, that film better be watched, you better be prepared, and this is the direction we're going. And, just from the sounds of it, listening to what they're saying, it doesn't sound like they're anywhere near that point right now, from guy 1 to guy 53.
At least Carl Granderson's tight, right?
He looks great, man. Yeah, I mean, that was a good decision to sign him, too. Yeah.
At the end of the day, fellas, you got to be a pro. And we talked about that yesterday, T-Bob. And Alvin Kamara came out, like, you got to be a pro. Like, you can't have things like Nick's talking about. Like, that almost makes me mad, like, that's happening. Like, you've got too many veteran players, Nick, for that to be happening, certainly on that offense. Like, so many guys in that huddle that should know exactly what's going on right there. Like, you can't take that timeout, though. Like, you need that timeout. Maybe you still had one, but maybe you use the middle of the football field and you don't run the same play 4 times if you have that timeout.
Let's not get crazy.
I can't believe they ended that series with a timeout too.
Did he think that if he threw between the hashes, it was going to be a penalty? There's no rhyme or reason.
We're going to hear from Carmichael today. Like, I'm eager to hear the explanation for it. I struggle to believe that he called that play 3 times. Like, did it get changed? Like, I just don't understand how you just keep trying to do the same exact thing over and over and over, and it just clearly wasn't going to work. And it was just so disorganized. Like going back to the previous point though, like, it's crazy to see, like, Rashid Shaheed, he's supposed to be running the corner route, I think, and, like, he's looking over the ins.
Yeah.
Like, I just don't know. Guys don't know where the ball's coming, what they're supposed to be doing. Olave stops his route. Carr's thrown to the back corner of the end zone. Like, I just don't understand how it's this disorganized, and you're like, you know what, let's run it again. You know what, let's run it again. Third time's the charm. Like, I don't understand it. I don't get it.
You know, it's the old rock, paper, scissors logic. He's not going to go throw rock a third time. But, you know, I guess he unfortunately.
He did.
Yeah. He did. Hey, you know what? I think it's time to play Jameis Winston again, boys. I'm about to break glass. Nick, what are you gonna get? What are you gonna get changed this week? So you got the team motioning more already. You got them to bench Trevor Penning. What is the goal for New Orleans on football this week in terms of leading the Saints to changing something?
Yeah, I'm not going to take credit for any of some of it, just coincidence. But look, they ran motion on 36% of their plays this week, and they worked pretty good. They got their touchdown on one of those plays, ran for 2 first downs after motion. The thing they didn't do, one motion play on third down. Third down was a mess. Like, just use it a little bit, you know, on the most important down. Getting your receiver a running start on third down, it works.
Imagine that. Nick Underhill, NewOrleans.football is the site. Nick_Underhill on Twitter. Him, Brooke, Mike, the whole team does excellent work over there. Go check it all out. Sign up today. Thank you, Nick.
Yeah, take it easy, guys.
Oh, man, we didn't even get any short week combo. Oh, well. I was going to ask about how it's different on short week, but that's actually not that interesting, I guess.
Short week, so the Saints played Sunday. On Monday, you come in, it's, man, very, very much a learning day. It's you go out there in T-shirt and shorts, and you just kind of walk through the plays. On Tuesday, you'll put on some gear, but it will be helmets only, and again, it won't be a full-speed pace. It will be like 80% pace. Wednesday going to be more than it normally would be, but still like maybe helmets only, walk through.
Wednesday would be more than it normally would, even with the game the next day?
Yeah, I'm just saying like more than a normal day before the game.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So you'll still go out there and you'll still probably have a helmet on doing some different things, but you'll never have like a true get after it practice in this week. Like today will be like the most practice-like day, but still it's 80%. Hey, we understand what the situation is. Let's don't get ourselves hurt here. We're not going to do. It's more about learning mentally than it is going out there, which the NFL at this point basically in the season already is, but. Sounds like the Saints need to do more of the mental work anyways.
Yeah, more studying, better chance. All right, when we get back here on OTB, let's dive into the most interesting things going on in the Power 5 right now. College football. More off the bench coming up next.
Off the bench with Hester and T-Bob.
CentralPlumbing.org, CentralPlumbing.org, 925-8552. CentralPlumbing.org. For 50 years they've been at it. Meaning you're not going to hit them with a problem that they don't know how to solve. I don't care if it's a new house, old house, you got character, whatever. Okay, is it a toilet that won't flush, water leaking out of a pipe, your shower's not working, whatever. Sprinkler, whatever. You go to Central Plumbing, they're going to get your back. And it's going to be licensed, bond insured. You're going to take advantage of flat rate pricing. You're going to have great warranty coverage once work is done. CentralPlumbing.org.
When you go to the website, click on bathroom remodel. We tell you about every single day, but it's important to know, certainly they can come into your home and they can fix whatever you want in your bathroom. Multiple bathrooms, doesn't matter. But also if you own a business and you have multiple bathrooms, don't feel like it is going to be too big. Central Plumbing is here and they're ready to go. You'll see the fleet as soon as you go to the website, centralplumbing.org, 225-925-8552.
OTB, OT. In times of need, get a full list of phone numbers, websites, and other important emergency information on the Demco Stormwatch page at 1045ESPN.com.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected. Supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team. And backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Dylan Cruz here to tell you about Six Rings Baseball and Softball Camp. If you live on the North Shore and play ball, go to Six Rings Camps with former LSU assistant coach Dan Canaveri. His knowledge is second to none, and your child will improve and have fun doing it. Camps were held at Coquille Park and Six Rings Academy in Covington with 4 sessions over the summer. Full day and morning only sessions are available from ages 7 to 13. Go to sixringsbaseball.com or call 985-206-9096. Learn the game to love the game.
Scooncha, fall in the air. Fall is right around the corner, which means fall fishing is, which means it's time for you to take your boat to the next level with front-to-back boat service in a bunch of different ways. You want a custom stair job, you can have a ton of fun out there on the water. They can do that. What about a spot lock trolling motor? So you stay right where you need to in casting lines. Or sonar that's let you see the fish under the water before you cast. All of your maintenance needs as well. For 38 years, they've been at it and will continue to do so. The Sherman family of front-to-back boat service.
Running Boards Marketing can help you get their attention. Imagine your brand's message on a giant LED billboard truck that can't be skipped and is nearly impossible to ignore. Running Boards Marketing is the leader in effective and affordable advertising on digital mobile billboards, which are 2 times more effective than traditional billboards. With a 97% recall rate, you'll leave a lasting impression with your customers.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Join me for a Tuesday edition of the Hunt Palmer Show. Glenn West talking Tigers, Sharif Ishak talking Saints, and can Jaden Daniels win the Heisman Trophy? I'll give you my thoughts. Hunt Palmer Show, 1 to 3 weekdays, 104.5 ESPN, Baton Rouge.
Congratulations to Dean Lurk. Dean is our Week 7 winner in the 2023 Twin Peaks College Football Pick'em Contest. He wins a Twin Peaks gift card. Don't forget to make your picks for Week 8 by noon on Thursday. Play the Twin Peaks College Football Pick'em today at 1045ESPN.com.
OTB OT with Hester and T-Bob on 1045 ESPN Baton Rouge and 94.7 ESPN Alexandria.
Taylor, did you watch Cabin in the Woods?
Not yet.
Have you finished Two Towers?
I have finished Two Towers.
Oh, you did? When'd you finish it?
This weekend.
What the hell, dude?
Yeah.
You just weren't going to tell us?
I forgot.
So you saw the Battle of Helm's Deep and you
Yeah, it
just
was
aren't
great.
going to talk
Although
about it?
I gotta tell you, like, even as good as the Battle of Helm's Deep,
Yeah.
like leading up to the battle, like when they're like, "Oh, it's impenetrable," and then the bad guys are like, "No, I got a secret of how we can get in," and it shows all the soldiers lining up. Like, I like that just as much as the battle.
Hell yeah, dude. When they're having the face-off and they're like
Yeah,
drumming
yeah.
and everything. I always laugh about when Legolas and Aragorn, you know, they're kind of kitting out the young boys and the men in the armor and everything, and they're speaking in Elvish, right? And Legolas is like, yo, bro, this is a hopeless cause, right? Like, what are we going to do? We're really going to stand here and fight or whatever? And they're speaking in Elvish. Then Aragorn switches to English, and I will die as one of them. I always wonder what it felt like to be one of the English speakers in that room. You're like, well, hold up now. What are we talking about?
Like, what led up to this?
Yeah, like, hold up. What do you mean? You think we're all going to die? What do we mean?
It's like, wait, what did that guy say? I want to hear his thoughts on it.
Yeah, exactly. What are we saying? I thought this place was impenetrable. I thought we were actually looking like we had a pretty good shot here. One thing I also love is that's one of the main differences between the books and the movies is in the books there are no elven reinforcements.
Okay.
In the books, it is just 300 men holding out against the tide. Also, interesting to know, after the charge of the Rohirrim, you'll notice the orcs still had a big numerical advantage, right?
Yeah.
When they retreated into the forest. The reason why they weren't able to come back, because they retreated into the forest. The Ents had moved, and the forest killed them all. They retreated basically and then got slaughtered by the trees, which is pretty sick. What? What are you smiling about?
Oh, no, I'm just saying, like, I'll be starting the last one shortly.
He's also smiling because Colorado got slaughtered by the trees.
True.
Oh, I didn't even think about that.
Io Manor is basically
What a
Treebeard.
terrible mascot.
I think it's a great mascot.
No,
it's my
dude.
favorite mascot to use
It's
in
just
NCAA.
a tree on the sideline.
When you could play as the mascots.
Yeah, but he's got big eyes. He's got big, funny eyes. You should watch Cabin in the Woods, though, too. Again,
Yeah.
I'm telling you.
I've heard it's pretty good.
Get to it. All right, let's talk a little Power 5. We mentioned what the most interesting things in the Big Ten are. Again, it's probably Pitt State, Ohio State this weekend. It's Iowa being funny. It's kind of like Michigan being so dominant that I'm so intrigued to see what happens when they get in an actual fist fight. Like, they better not blow this thing. I don't think they will, but they've been pretty incredible. What about the Pac-12? Kind of a relatively quiet weekend. USC, Utah, the best matchup coming up this weekend. Will Utah bury USC's chances once again and also simultaneous to show us that, like a zombie, they are not dead? What's interesting you most in the Pac-12 right now?
Are we forgetting about Utah too fast?
Yeah.
We've done it
exactly.
back-to-back years.
Exactly.
Are we forgetting about them too soon? Because when you look at who they have left on their schedule, they're going to have every opportunity to have a say into not only who wins the Pac-12, but who potentially could go to the college football playoff. And again, they're still without Cam Rising, and they're just continuing to win football games. They are 5-1. They beat Cal by 3 scores this weekend, and now they go on the road their next game against USC. Then they go Oregon, and then they go Arizona State, at Washington, at Arizona, and Colorado. So I'm not even saying necessarily that they're going to be the story, although they've proven us wrong 2 years in a row, but they are going to have so much to say, and they are a quality football team. And if they do get healthy, if they do at some point get their guys back, well, can they go out there? Because they can beat USC. That's a bad matchup for USC. What can you do against Oregon at home? You love that game being at home. By the time you get to at Washington, can you be healthy?
Is Cam Rising back yet? Is he ruled out again this weekend?
I don't know they made anything about this week yet, but I fully expected him yet again to play in this game. But it was Bryson Barnes again.
Week 1. That's crazy.
I know.
Ask the bench, who has a worse structural defect, Helm's Deep or the Death Star? Well, that's easy. It's obviously the Death Star because Galen Erso literally purposely built in a fatal flaw. So it's a purposeful structural defect. And as far as Helm's Deep goes, it's not really their fault. They didn't know about gunpowder. Like, that was some black magic out of Saruman that ended up causing the problems there.
That's what I was thinking.
It's pretty cool. You know the scene where they blow up the wall, Taylor? It's all just a giant miniature that they blew up.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I love that. I love miniatures. All right, next on this list, in the SEC, what's the most interesting thing going on?
It's got to be the SEC West and how that plays out.
Actually, I'm on the opposite side. I think it's
The
just
East?
going on in the East. Not Georgia, but everything underneath Georgia seems pretty freaking wild right now to me.
I think in the West, when you look at Ole Miss beating LSU, Texas A&M looking like they maybe were going to be the best team, and then they faltered. Alabama, it hasn't looked pretty, but they continue to win football games. LSU is going in the right direction. They're thriving right now. And you still have, Ole Miss has to play Texas A&M. LSU and Alabama play each other. Like, there's still going to be a lot to be determined, but I don't think any of us would feel good about saying, indefinite, that's going to be the way it turns out.
No, and to your point, like, we know Georgia's going to win the East, but maybe not, right? Like, what can this Mizzou team actually do? I think Mizzou's so fascinating to me because they beat Kentucky in Lexington at night in a game where they don't actually play that well. And they beat him badly.
Yeah.
And you look up and Luther Burns got 2 catches for 15. Brady Cook's not even breaking 2 hundo. Like, okay, well, what happens when they play well? They play in host to South Carolina this week. Can they beat UJ? Can they beat Florida? Can they beat Tennessee? Can they finish second in the East? Maybe even first? Probably not. And then it's like, is Florida good? All of a sudden you look up, Graham Mertz is balling, and Florida's 3-1 in the SEC.
Yeah.
They're second in the East right now. Crazy. I bet y'all, let's move on to the Big 12. I bet y'all don't know who's second in the Big 12 right now. Don't look it up.
Second in the Big 12
I would not have known.
be Oklahoma State?
Nope. They beat Oklahoma State, the team I'm talking
about. Kansas?
The crazy
Kansas
thing
lost to
is,
Oklahoma State.
the crazy thing is they don't have a good overall record, but they've been good in conference. Iowa State.
Oh, yeah.
3-1, 4-3 overall.
Hey, Matt
3-1.
Campbell, right?
Matt Campbell's back, baby. Brees Hall and Purdy dominate on Sundays. Iowa State 3-1 in the Big 12 on Saturdays. I feel bad for the Big 12 though, Jake, because the Big 12 is kind of boring compared to last year.
Yeah.
Last year there was so much parity, so many good teams, and this year it just feels like we're just waiting for for OU and Texas to play again.
I mean, we without question are. I mean, West
Yeah.
Virginia, they blow the game against Houston. Oklahoma State looks like they're going in the right direction, but it might be too little too late. Who knows what the hell Baylor is, UCF, BYU, all
Baylor's
these teams. It's now
Baylor's 8-11 since winning the Big
Yeah, it's
12
bad.
championship.
Now, these teams are weird in the fact that they can show up and surprise you, but nobody's consistent outside of Texas and Oklahoma. I mean, they're going to have a rematch. It's going to be for who goes to the college football playoff.
And the ACC, I think it's still the emergence of UNC.
Yeah.
Like UNC looks like they're not just good, but UNC is on the edge of achieving legitimate contender
Like tier one.
status, like championship potentially. They have the top 5 QB.
Yep.
They have now a legitimate number 1 weapon in Tez Walker, and they have a defense that is pretty damn good and playing way better. I'm fascinated to see what's going to happen in Duke. Yeah, it's
Oof,
true.
We almost went for 200 last night.
Is it Hampton? Amarian Hampton, right?
Almost went for 200.
And then I'm really interested to see the Duke-Florida State game this weekend. Duke traveling to Tallahassee. I wish Riley Leonard was going to be healthy. But even then, there's going to be valuable insight to be gained with this Duke defense, which allows less than 10 a game going against this Florida State offense, which seems to be finding its consistency, but we'll see. You know what's crazy? It's kind of interesting. Clemson and Miami are unranked this weekend.
I know.
Who would have guessed that? That we would have reached Clemson. I mean, definitely probably Miami. I could have believed that, but I wouldn't believe Clemson. But, such the wheel turns and fortunes rise and fall, and Fortuna's wheel has turned its eye against the Tigers and the Canes.
North Carolina, very, very interesting to me. And Clemson and Miami, yeah. I mean, I think Clemson's still going to win that game. But North Carolina with Tez is now, like, that's what unlocked them to me to be a true contender. Because Drake May didn't play like Drake May at the beginning of the year. He didn't have a lot of weapons. You lose Josh Downs to the NFL, and you're wondering who's going to replace him. Well, now Tez Walker's come in, and he has been that guy. And so you can run the football. You're playing better defense. Like, go watch the tape of North Carolina's edge defenders. They play mad and pissed off. Piss and vinegar, as Tommy Moffitt used to say. Like, they have a different mindset on defense. And is it the best defense in the country? No. But remember how bad they were a year ago? And we always say it. You don't have to be the best. You just got to make improvements. Well, they certainly have done that. I truly think they deserve to be in the conversation. Like, the game against Miami last week, it ended up being still a 10-point game. It really wasn't that close if you watched it. Miami got some touchdowns late.
Yeah, no, it wasn't close at all. Miami got 2 touchdowns the last 8 minutes, and they were already down 21. Like, it was not as close at all as the final score.
So this Miami team,
Kinda
I'm right
hurt
there
their
with you.
scoring average, too, unfortunately, for UNC,
Right.
just from a pure stat standpoint.
And I think that's my most interesting thing as well, is you have a challenger for Florida State.
Yeah.
I really think Duke would be if Riley Leonard was healthy. I hate the fact that he's not going to be able to play in this game against Florida State, but no, you got a true contender in North Carolina.
Bradley says might have pump brakes on slightly on Tez Walker, not saying he's not a dude, but Miami's secondary is garbage. Yeah, that's fair, Bradley, but also like Tez Walker, when he found out he was going to play, apparently like barely kind of knew the playbook. Even like he found out on Thursday, played on Saturday. I think he had like 3 for 60 something. Then he gets a full week of practice and he goes off for 3 touchdowns and over 100 yards. Like he got up to speed so fast that you just got to assume that more time on task is just gonna get like. I mean, yeah, I think he is that guy. But we'll see. Patrick Vines is calling the obvious drainage ditch a defect with Helms Deep, but like I just don't know that I agree. Like you have to have a drainage ditch. Like what are we talking about? Like you can't like it's a function of the castle operating. You have to be able to expel rain and everything else somewhere, and that's how it was built. And it's not like it ever like. Let's be clear. Before the Berserker, man, and Legolas, come on, bro, You're real good when you're just shooting normal orcs and goblins, but what about when we needed you to drop a kill here? You know what I'm saying? Like, we needed you to be at your best, and what'd you do? You hit him in the shoulder twice. You let him finish the route. The next thing you know, bang. And before, look, let's be clear. Before the gate blew up, the defense was holding strong. They looked great, and then everything fell apart after that. So, look, primetime players show up in primetime situations, and all I'm saying is, Legolas, a little bit of fair weather play. I know you can shoot when it's easy. What about when it's hard and you got to take him down? See if you can fix it in the third movie. What do you think about the Legolas shield slide?
I liked it.
Yeah, it was tight. I agree. It got memed on a lot of people didn't like it. I still love it. I think it's cool. All right, when we get back, let's close out. We got a couple segments left. So more OTB. Come on.
OTB, OT.
ITI Technical College, iticollege.edu, iticollege.edu. Look, man, for 50 years, they've been serving their students, changing students' lives. And if you're an ITI alumni, go to the website and look at all the great events they have planned for this fall as they celebrate 5 decades of helping you. And remember, this is a local, family-owned trade school. It's not some national for-profit BS, and they help you every single step along the way, from learning what you're passionate about, scheduling, mock interviews, internships, potential careers. Get that AOS degree in just 2 years. It's all there, right off of Airline Highway, ITI Technical College.
Yeah, T-Bob mentioned Airline Highway. We always encourage you to go see them at their campus. It is really set up for your success. You'll be blown away once you step onto that campus. Maybe you can't get there, though. And you can find all that information at iticollege.edu. Go ahead and schedule that meeting with them. Have that conversation, iticollege.edu.
Our listeners fire off their opinions on the jimsfirearms.net hotline at 499-1045. Keep listening for your next chance to shoot us your thoughts with the jimsfirearms.net hotline on 1045 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Moscona inviting you to join us for Tuesday's AFR, powered by Sunshine, your hometown John Deere dealer in Louisiana. Saints on a short week. We'll get you the absolute latest before Thursday Night Football and an update on LSU Army. Join us 3 to 6, 104.5 ESPN, Baton Rouge.
OTB, OT, with Hester and T-Bob on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge and 94.7 ESPN Alexandria.
Ava Marzwani and Orlando Bloom messed up stuff in Troy and Middle Earth. True. True. Oh, man, that means you also saw the scene where Gimli somehow, but he does, let's be clear, officially wins the kill count battle against Legolas.
Yeah, I did see that.
I have my accent better than
He's just
pretty
always
number
like
43.
in the right place at the right time type of thing.
I like when Legolas shoots it between his legs and he's like, what? He was twitching. He tied up now. Even though Legolas at one point does take out that ladder, which seems to smash about 30 to 40 orcs. But again, I don't know. Maybe
Yeah,
we're
did they not
talking
count that?
Yeah, I guess we're not talking about AoE kills. I love when they throw, you have to toss me. Don't tell the elf. And he throws him on the bridge, and Gimli's just swinging that axe, just doing work, dude. What's better, boudin balls or boudin egg rolls?
Ooh.
False.
Actually, the answer we was looking for is boudin egg rolls.
For you.
Like a sweet chili glaze. No, it's not me.
So,
I actually didn't. It's not in my opinion.
Who is it?
No, that's fact.
Rouse's
I
does
looked it
a.
up on Ask Jeeves.
That's fact. Now, Ask Jeeves.
Yeah,
Oh,
I know,
there
how
you go.
about that?
Shout
Rouse's
out.
does a boudin egg roll, and it's like a tangier, spicier cane sauce type thing that they put it in. Really good.
You want that Asian tangy,
Yeah. I've got it for
sweet,
game day
spicy
a couple
thing.
times. Like you just bring it home, stick it in the oven for a few minutes, take it out. It's
Even
good.
though, to be fair, a pepper jack boudin, pepper jack boudin egg roll is my favorite, actually. Pepper jack boudin egg roll with that sauce is just,
Yeah.
oof. That's some fire fat boy stuff right there, bro. As the bench, what's the best fight scene moment in Lord of the Rings? And then Bilbo says for him, it's Legolas rapid firing while surfing down the rapid
always.
shield.
T-Bob wants to do a deep cut. He doesn't want to do the one everybody says, but it is the tightest one.
No, I love that one. But I mean, I'm not going to say because I don't want to spoil anything for Taylor, but I think Legolas almost has a more impressive set piece in movie number 3. I'm not going to say it right now, but it's pretty awesome as well. I mean, I don't know though, dude. Aragorn fighting Lurtz in the first movie is still pretty tight, dude. Knocking away the blade, which he really did.
And then cuts the head off.
Yeah, Lurtz also being the psychopath that like draws the blade into his own belly and it's like, or when he like rips the knife out and licks it. Yeah, it's pretty tight.
Legolas had a nice one in the Hobbit movie I watched without his bow and arrow.
Yeah. Well, Legolas can work them knives now, though.
Yeah.
He's got them 2 long blades. Don't sleep on it. But no, I was always a Gimli guy. It's just a bit harder to make. Like that's why I always like that scene in Two Towers where they throw him on the bridge because that's a CG Gimli, and you really get an idea of what a dwarf would actually look like fighting. Like super fast, super powerful, low man wins, just chopping off knees, showing people down. Like how are you supposed to, it's hard to like hit him. Yeah, hell yeah, dude. Ask the bench, do you think Lane Kiffin would leave Ole Miss for Texas A&M?
Fighting Texas Aggies? No. Can you imagine Lane having to be a part of that? No. Heck no.
Heck no?
Heck no.
I mean, if you're not going to go to Auburn, why would you go to A&M? That's a very fair question. Yeah, so probably not. That's fair. That's fine.
Just no. I'll go. If I'm A&M, if I make a move.
Would Dion go to A&M? That's a little more interesting. A little Texas background. I mean, shoot, that'd be a powerful combination in terms of recruiting, Bo.
Yeah.
Brand. they feel a little nerdy for Deion.
Yeah.
Certainly.
Yeah, I think Florida would be a better fit.
Certainly.
Like we've talked about.
I mean, Colorado's not nerdy, but like when he first took the job, I thought it was an odd fit. He's been fine at Colorado, so it may work out better than you think.
Boulder's a cool city, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, Boulder's always been a cool city. That is true.
I don't know. Interesting game between the Auburn Tigers and Ole Miss in Jordan-Hare. Night game.
Yeah, I mean, look,
I
I don't
know we
care
just
who
saw
Ole Miss
Auburn,
loses to.
you know.
We just need Ole Miss to lose. That's all
Right.
we care about.
And I know we just saw Auburn look really bad against LSU. Just be careful there, Ole Miss.
T-Bob, your dwarven name is T-Bob Halfstash. Well, yeah, I mean, it's going to be a bounce back for Auburn. Also, look at Auburn and Jordan-Hare against Georgia versus Auburn on the road. Like, Auburn and Jordan-Hare is different. Night game. The fans are insane. The Auburn fans just continue to believe that they're going to be better and better. Brock Wilt says, better facilities and more money at A&M than Ole Miss. That is true. Like, Lane would have to at least entertain it. Because, like, all your monetary, because he's quibbled about it at Ole Miss.
Auburn's a better job than A&M.
Yeah, for sure. But I mean, you make that choices where you're at that time in your life, and maybe that changes. But it's going well at Ole Miss this year. So what are we talking about?
Yeah. Why are we trying to get Lane at it? I mean, they're committed. Not that they could keep up if they, with A&M if A&M wanted, but I mean, if you turn down Auburn, why are you going to go to A&M?
Well, again, I think that could be like a timing thing where you thought you were happy. And
if Ole Miss was not doing well.
I don't know, actually. Deion could keep his cowboy hats at A&M. That's true, Jeff. That's a good point.
Very
Just
good
carry
point.
over that's the only thing I was bummed about, dude. I left my cowboy hat at the lake this summer, and so I couldn't wear it to the concert Friday. Big missed opportunity, dude. Big missed opportunity for your boy.
Should have told me they were selling customized cowboy hats at the LP Fair this weekend. Could have snagged you one.
Oh, how did the fair go? So you ended up going after all?
I went kind of.
No.
So
confused now.
Yeah.
I'm gonna explain. My mom is she's a school teacher, and all the schools had to put up like a different like fair exhibit or whatever. So we literally went Friday night, looked at the exhibit, and went home. So like I didn't spend a ton of time at the fair, but yes, I was technically there.
Oh, okay. Hey, well, I want to remind you to go to Page Plus Urgent Care, PagePlusUC.com, where you will see the difference. PatientPlusUC.com. Go ask about the Patient Plus membership while you're in there. It's a great deal. You get 10% off if you buy the year just up front, and you get unlimited visits for anything. For anything, right? But flu, cold, COVID, steroid shots, anything you need to get in, get better, ear infections, you want to go to Patient Plus, PatientPlusUC.com. Wait till you go. If you've never been in a Patient Plus, first off, there's one near you because they're everywhere throughout the city. When you see the facilities, you're going to be blown away, y'all. And you can sign up online, you can schedule online, or you can just walk in. Patient Plus Urgent Care. Ask Bench coming up next.
OTB, OT. In times of need, get a full list of phone numbers, websites, and other important emergency information on the Demco Stormwatch page at 1045ESPN.com.
Please depend on it. Every day is sparked by the power of a cold drink or a warm meal, a movie night, and a comforting light at the end of a dark hallway. From sunrise to sunset, playtime to bedtime, our team is ready to take care of your electrical needs. Even in the case of an after-hours emergency, the light in your life shines brighter with Mr. Electric.
When is a taco more than just a taco? When it's Government Taco. Voted best tacos 3 years in a row by 225 Magazine, Government Taco puts the most delicious spin on tacos the capital area has ever seen. With creative combinations like the Magna Carrot, the Filibuster, or the Steak of the Union. Plus perfect tortilla chips paired with the best salsa and queso you've ever had. And happy hour every day from 3 to 6 p.m. and all day on Thursday. Government Taco, 5621 Government Street.
The best kept secret in town is out. Discover Tallulah at the Renaissance Hotel on Bluebonnet.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected. Supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Running Boards Marketing can help you get their attention. Imagine your brand's message on a giant LED billboard truck that can't be skipped and is nearly impossible to ignore. Running Boards Marketing is the leader in effective and affordable advertising on digital mobile billboards, which are 2 times more effective than traditional billboards. With a 97% recall rate, you'll leave a lasting impression with your customers.
Electricity is all around us, and our families depend on it. Every day is sparked by the power of a cold drink or a warm meal, a movie night, and a comforting light at the end of a dark hallway. From sunrise to sunset, playtime to bedtime, our team is ready to take care of your electrical needs. Even in the case of an after-hours emergency, the light in your life shines brighter with Mr. Electric.
Dylan Cruz here to tell you about Six Rings Baseball and Softball Camp. If you live on the North Shore and play ball, go to Six Rings Camps with former LSU assistant coach Dan Canaveri. His knowledge is second to none, and your child will improve and have fun doing it. Camps were held at Coquille Park and Six Rings Academy in Covington with 4 sessions over the summer. Full day and morning only sessions are available from ages 7 to 13. Go to sixringsbaseball.com or call 985-206-9096. Learn the game to love the game.
Scooncha, fall in the air. Fall is right around the corner, which means fall fishing is, which means it's time for you to take your boat to the next level with front.
This is Charles Hannegriff. Join us for the Tuesday edition of Live at Lunch. We are at Doe's Eat Place on Government Street in Mid-City. Andy Isco joins us from Las Vegas. Live at Lunch, 11 a.m. weekdays on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
OTB, OT, with Hester and T-Bob on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge and 94.7 ESPN Alexandria.
Yo, what's happening, y'all? T-Bob, Jake, Morrow, Taylor hanging out with you today. Ask the Bench, brought to you by Cold Coors Light, Vizzy Hard Seltzer, and Blue Moon Light Sky Citrus. Ask the Bench. If you could have been pro in any other sport than football, what would it be? Chess is not a sport, T-Bob.
Mine would be
basketball.
Mine would be soccer. European
Soccer makes the most. Yeah,
to go
it would
to
be
all
soccer.
those incredible countries, to visit all those incredible places, and then I retire in America, the greatest country in the world.
Yeah, but you also make a ton of money doing soccer.
Yeah,
too,
that too.
So
Yeah, you
that
make
would
a ton
be
of money
mine.
playing in the NBA as well.
Not
I think
not
soccer's
not in European soccer.
On a player to
I mean,
play, average player? I'm not talking about the superstars. Superstars maybe
No,
more in
Steve,
soccer,
you're missing
but-
how many players and how many leagues make money, though.
Oh, there's more opportunity for sure.
Yeah, and like the Bundesliga and EPL and the league,
But
like
do-
all
what do
those
you think-
players.
if we had to blind guess, what do you think is higher, average NBA salary or average EPL salary?
I would say average NBA. There's less
'Cause
players.
there's less
to
players,
pay.
right? That's
Yeah.
what I'm thinking.
We might have to do some research and development.
Some R&D.
Yep.
What are we developing? The theory.
The
There we
theory,
go. Hey, go to the DraftKings Sportsbook where you can research and develop some great plays for the weekend, like the Pontoon Parlay. $5 NFL game, get you $200 in bonus bets. Physically present in Louisiana, 21 or older, select players only. Bonus bets expire 168 hours after issuance. Eligibility and deposit restrictions apply. Call 1-800-GAMBLER, 100-426-2537.
OTB, OT.
We have truckloads of inventory rolling in at Corbell Toyota in Opelousas. And you can take advantage of 3.99% financing on select 2023 models. So come on down to Happy Town. That's Corbell Toyota in Opelousas. Happy Town, USA.
His name was Cain. He had a horse along the countryside. I saw him ride. One day they found him.
The important